You are now tuned in to the greatest blood clot podcast in the world. You're welcome in advance. Leave all judgment at the door.
Father God.
We're here for the jokes.
We're here for the jokes.
Lazy.
Bing bong.
It's the extra gravy.
Hold on. No. Something's not right. Hold on.
You are now tuned in to the greatest blood clot podcast in the world. You're welcome in advance.
What the fuck?
All judgment at the door. We're here for the jokes. We don't
you thought?
do things lazy. It's the extra gravy.
They know how I'm coming with bitch in the flesh. Who the fuck she gon' check?
Party gang! Let's go!
Bitches be mad when they see Cardi step in the
I'm just gonna keep drinking my water.
Hold on. Nah, something's not right.
You are now tuned in to the greatest blood clot podcast in the world. You're welcome in advance. Leave all judgment at the door. We're here for the jokes. We don't do things lazy. It's the extra gravy.
Pink diamond chicken wing chain.
I did not know that this was happening.
Why are you giving them? You pussy! You are a pussy!
Boy, bitch.
I have a child, okay?
Wait, the queen, I'll show you. Like on your ass and belly. I prove you
This
lost
is
already.
music.
They told you your whole career I come home and kill you, right?
Come on, Remy, let him know.
I wasn't
Let
talking
him know, Rem.
about your dumb ass and look stupid. You literally got a dumb ass. Talking play. And we all know that you dumb ass. You get donkey of the day. Yeah, you dumb ass. Let's be honest. You stole that line about bitches being your sons. How you take my 09 jail tweet and run? Talking about bringing knives to a fight with guns.
What?
When the only shots you ever took was in your buns.
Look at that.
Let him know, P. We need a podcast feed, Mike, just for that moment.
We need a podcast be cam on you right now, bro.
Nah, come on.
You are now tuned in to the greatest blood
us.
clot
Let's
podcast in the world.
Just bring it back down.
advance.
Just bring it back
All
down.
judgment at the door.
Shout out to Alfred for
We're
giving us
here for
flavors
the
today, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Alfred's just giving us.
Lazy. It's
He's
the
in his
extra
bag.
gravy.
He's in his biggity. I ain't gonna lie.
Does Alfred have a soca joint?
Oh, he keeps a couple. Unlike she who must not be named. I'm not gonna say nobody's name no more, because apparently that is an abomination. It is a sin. If you say the name, now you bleach. There's a lot of different things. So much to tackle.
Don't say the name 3 times.
We'll settle it all. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
I'm Alicia.
And welcome back to the greatest podcast in Trinidad.
I don't want peace. By the way, big ups to my show. 40 years.
Always. And of course, man, listen, this is a drug-free podcast. I just want you guys to know that.
I hate
This is drug-free, substance-free. We're all of clear, sound mind.
only opium.
Opium dreams. Nah. It's been an eventful 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We haven't been back since our 5-year anniversary show. Shout out to the Gravy Gang. Shout out to the YouTube gang for holding on tight. I know YouTube, you guys been waiting for the video. We here, but there's no video for the anniversary show because I didn't press record. I'm so serious. We have a video. There's just absolutely no sound. So, yeah, I'm just trash as a human being. I get it. It's fine. I understand.
Were
I had
you
one job.
nervous or something? Like,
I actually had 20 jobs. I didn't have one job. I had 20 jobs. If I had one job, I would have pressed it. But that's neither here nor there. The anniversary show was amazing.
Yeah.
Big ups to Soho House for having us. Shout out to Phil, Jaden, everybody for taking care of us.
yes.
Podcast P. Shout out to you for filming it.
Pizzle.
The world will see the visuals, even if I have to put music over it.
Yes.
Maybe some soca music.
Straight highlight reel.
But
Shout out to our poutines.
Shout out to the poutines. We had our own little menu named after us. A lot of people were really liking tasting me.
Man, you tasted the best, bro.
Apparently, I tasted the
Your
best.
shit tasted the best.
Apparently, Or did you have some Marlon?
You didn't have
Matt?
any meat. Did you have
Matt,
that
you
Marlon?
didn't have the Marlon?
You didn't have the Marlon meat in your mouth?
He said he had some Alicia.
Oh.
I had a plethora of all three.
Jesus, wait, hold the fuck up.
A smorgasbord.
Nigga,
of
you
all
ain't gonna
three.
have no orgy in your mouth with me, nigga. That's crazy. That is wild.
He tasted a little bit of all of us.
That's sickening.
The menage.
The menage. The menage. I'm done.
That's the first time I'm hearing that word. That's crazy. It's been an eventful 2 weeks. So we had our anniversary show. That went swimmingly. It was an amazing show. What else was happening that weekend? Was there anything else happening that weekend that was crazy?
I don't know.
No. Everyday People happened. That was a good
Yes.
party. Great party.
Nice.
Everyday
shout out to
people is
them.
always big.
Since then, what else has happened? Nothing else,
Let's
really.
look at the
I went to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you went to Vegas. How was that?
Vegas was eventful. There's so many things to do. We did so much stuff. I got a $10 tattoo
Where? What?
on my little wrist.
Is it a matching tattoo?
No, it's not a matching tattoo.
I see two hearts there. I was
Somebody
like,
chickened out.
Oh, Goldie Cox. Say it ain't so. Do we have to put pressure on Goldie Cox? Hold on.
We got there. So there's this place that's called Coolsville, and it's pretty known. I actually found it on TikTok. Of course, my whole trip was sponsored by
That
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah, I went in a deep dive and I found all the dope things to do
Nice.
that most of them I've never done before.
Greatest app ever.
Yeah. And so there's a place that's known for like $10 tattoos and piercings. Not all tattoos are $10.
Yeah.
Like they have, you can choose
You can't
from
get a
them.
sleeve
Yeah.
for $10.
No, but they will do sleeves if you want, but it's
Yeah.
not $10. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we were like walking down there on their, what was it called? First Friday. So the first Friday of every month, they do like this local thing where it had vendors, pop-ups, like just beer people, music, people dancing. We seen somebody get hypnotized like in the middle of the street.
I
and it
always
was
wondered
fucked.
if that shit is real, man.
Yo, it
We
was,
should get a hypnotizer on the show
she
and
like,
put Alicia in a spell.
No,
Make her,
no.
Make her watch things. When you wake up, you will like movies.
yeah, we were walking and this girl was just standing up like sleep. And I was like, is she that drunk? And then all of a sudden he did the thing and she snapped out of it and she was like, holy fuck. And she just like walked away with her friends.
My thing is, if that shit was real,
And then he was like, do you want him to do it to you? And me and Goldie Cox were like, no.
scammers are slipping if that's real.
That's what. But
Like,
yeah.
do you understand? Like, the world in general is slipping. Like, if you wanted to sell anything, if you wanted to coerce people into doing
I
things,
mean, it might already be happening before our eyes,
but-
and we
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, I wonder in where though. Like, what?
Have you ever seen that?
I feel like church might be one. I think you get hypnotized.
Well, I think it was with you. We were watching an Oprah thing, and there's this guy that would get people to think all the same. He got these people to draw all the same thing.
Oh wow, no. I've seen hypnotists. Like, I remember first pub night at college, my first year in college, and my only year. There was a hypnotist that came for pub night to
Yeah.
start off the night, and this nigga had girls doing all type of freaky things. I was
Wow.
like, brother, they better be actors, because if you have this power, you are gonna be canceled. in
That's
like
crazy.
5 years. That's wild.
I mean, I feel like that's part of the dark arts. And then there's the people that do it like as a show on some magic trick shit.
Like dark arts, like
but it's
like
one
voodoo
of
and stuff. Like,
yes.
I've heard about this thing called the root
I don't know what that is.
in voodoo, where it's like they make this thing of you. It's like
Oh,
fake
it looks like a little doll. Yeah.
but it's not really
But it's
a doll.
not
It's like a
doll.
stick and like
Yeah.
wires and
Yeah. I've
and
seen
it's
it.
called the root. And there was this thread on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
where a man said, "Yo, I've literally watched someone get turned into a shoe," and I
Wow.
was like, "That's too specific."
Yeah.
I'm like, who says a shoe? Like, he must have really seen this. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So I don't. That makes my skin crawl. I don't like talk about none of
Yeah.
that stuff. I think it's
Some
my
of
mom's
the like
fault.
the voodoo shit that happens in the South, like they're wild. Like, have you ever?
Well, like, I always
Somebody
wonder where did
told
it
me-
originate from. I need to look that up.
Somebody told me that in Kevin Gates' song, he says for
God.
you not to eat
Woman
spaghetti from
Period.
a woman
Period.
because they put their period blood
That's not
in
even
it
just voodoo. That's
to like.
across all cultures.
I was like, what?
Women be doing that for real though. Like I know girls who have done it.
That is fucking
That have
crazy.
done what?
So they take their period blood and they put it into the
spaghetti
spaghetti
sauce.
and that it
Allegedly.
ties the woman, the man that is supposed to be, that they're serving it to. It ties it to them like almost like a soul tie, like you're attached to them.
It's like
forever.
a secret blood pact.
basically.
That
And it
she-
makes them like love them.
Yeah.
Like
what in the blood
wholeheartedly,
vein? She's just
like-
like
My mom has said she's seen women do it and seen that it works and like it's crazy stuff.
that's
and like,
crazy.
the thing is, it's like
I'm gonna start jizzing in people's food. Seeing
Oh
that
my
works.
gosh.
people just want to have your babies now. No, I don't know why. That's crazy. But that I always wonder because like there has to be some truth to all of this. Like this, it's things that have been running and talked about for so long that there has to be some parts of it that work. Some parts. I don't know what parts or who can actually do the things.
Yeah.
But voodoo has to be real. Magic in some capacity has to be real. Ghosts, all duppies, all that shit. In some way, shape, or form, somewhere in the world has to be real.
Even like sleep paralysis. Have you ever heard about Charlemagne talk about it? In the South, they say that it's like little people sitting on your chest. So like he said he's experienced it before, but they call it something else.
People on the internet have
South.
said it. People on the internet started a thread about this and talked about how it's either they see a woman dressed in all black hovering over them and like pushing
Holding
them down,
yeah.
or in the corner of their room, like because when you have sleep paralysis, you're literally just like only your eyes can move. Like it's happened to me so many times.
It's happened to me too. It's fucking
But I don't
scary
see
as fuck.
nobody. I just feel like I'm dead or
Yeah.
I'm paralyzed and I
Yeah.
freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
But your body's not waking up as quickly as your brain and as your mind for some
Yeah.
reason.
And they also say that you could astral project in those situations, like for a short period of time until you wake up.
That's probably true.
Because I know, so my buddy was just telling me his mother, she was a paraplegic and she would fall into comas often, and he said she fell into like 15 comas over the span of time when she was paraplegic before she died. But in every coma she fell into, she woke up and mentioned something that was impossible for her to know because she was in the coma.
Yep.
So he was doing a show. Shout outs. I'm not even going to say his name, but this guy was doing a show. He killed it. He finally got like this big gig. Came home. Came to see his mom. She awoke from the coma and she's like, "Congratulations." And he's like, "What?"
Before you even said it.
Yeah, she's like, "Congratulations on getting your gig. Like, I heard you're a resident comic now." And he's like, "How did you know?" She's like, "I was there. You were wearing the red suit with the." And he's like,
That's crazy.
"Mom, you were in a coma this whole time." He's like,
That's
"She's like, no,
insane.
I was there."
The astral projection has to be real because
gotta be
and remember
real,
I was
man.
and I think it has a lot to do with remember that documentary I told you guys about like reincarnation and like people near death experience, that surviving death one. I think those people were astral projecting. I didn't know what that term was when I had watched it. I learned it. Do you remember? There's some.
Enter the Void.
No, there was a series on Netflix like a year or two ago during the pandemic called Behind Her Eyes. You guys remember
No,
seeing that?
I never saw that one.
There was like a black British girl and like she would astral project.
Actually, yeah, I did.
You remember that? And she had her daughter. She's trying to get her daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's when I learned the term. And everybody's near-death experience sounds like what you're talking about, where like they're literally out of body and just witnessing things. Like the woman that was on her deathbed. She first of all she predicted that she was gonna die. Told her doctor that the baby she's carrying this baby's gonna kill me when I give birth to it. And the doctor assured her she was fine. All the checks were good. Everything was fine. Goes into labor. All of a sudden she's dying. And the doctor starts freaking out like, no. How could she have known? Like she starts just freaking out, right? Girl comes back too when they actually resuscitate and save her. And she's like, I saw everything. Like I watched you freak out. I heard you say, no. How did she know? How did she know?
Yeah.
She could describe the doctor's tools and what they used and in what order. Like, That shit's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah.
But I do when I do have the sleep paralysis moments. I can see why people might think that that's possible.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. Like
It is. I get scared sometimes. I haven't had it in a very long time. I haven't had it since I lived in like my last apartment, like before I was even pregnant. So a couple of years now. But I would remember I'd fall asleep on the couch all the time.
And you're watching TV till 5 in the morning.
Sometimes. But it was just my comfortable spot. Like I could always fall asleep on my couch. And yeah, like I remember one time, like I was awake, but my body couldn't move.
But my body!
Yeah.
They need a sleep paralysis version of that. That's crazy.
And I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like, wake up, wake up, wake up. I was telling myself to like wake up and move because it's like scary. I remember I could see my kitchen and I could like see the time moving and stuff like that. And I was trying to like lift my head.
It was
but
that long?
Like, yeah, I felt like I seen the time move. You know what I mean? And I was like, my body was just like stuck.
I've never been that long. Like at most it lasts maybe 10 seconds. Like I've never, that's
well, maybe
terrifying.
I was in the middle of a minute, you know what I mean? Like near the end.
You saying it's like right?
But like I seen it move, like the clock move and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
That's freaky.
No, I remember like when I was trying to scream, I was just sitting there like, because when I had it, I saw a figure, and I'm just like, that's a shadow. And I'm just going like this. And I'm literally like, I could feel myself, I could hear that nothing's coming out, and I know in my mind my mouth is open, but then when I finally like was able to scream, my mouth opened. I went, I was like, wait, it wasn't
open. And you thought
this
you were
whole
screaming
time?
already? Wow.
I was like, yeah.
Wow.
And when my eyes, when I started making the noise, the figure disappeared, and I'm like, it was a shadow. It was a shadow.
Sometimes that would happen to me when I lived in my Queen Street apartment. Like I'd wake up and see like shadows and stuff like that. And sometimes I'd be in the sleep paralysis. Sometimes it would just be like normal. And then there got to a point where I'd wake up every day between like 2 and 4 a.m. or something like that, choking.
Queen and where?
No, King Street, King and Shaw.
Oh, it was homeless people.
And
it was a crackhead.
I was all up top, okay?
They can climb. Them niggas, they determine when they need some money.
But I was like, yo, like, is this place like haunted? Because I was like, it never used to happen like before.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Ooh,
and so
that's a good point.
I was like, but I'm the first person to live in this unit
but
because
area.
It was a brand new condo that they built, right? And then I was like, maybe a construction worker died while on the job, and
or
was,
they're
like,
building it on
or
like
something like that.
grounds where someone is buried. Like you never
Shit,
know.
maybe
You never.
it
know.
was right in front of like Cam H. So who
I was
knows?
gonna say
Like,
it's a Cam H soul flying over.
Oh yeah.
Imagine a crack-headed freaking soul. Like,
I love that joke.
something.
That's great.
Anyways, I went to Vegas and I got a $10 tattoo.
Very nice. Shout out to Vegas and sleep paralysis and demons and voodoo and the root and spaghetti.
I tried to go to the Usher show, bought tickets,
God bless.
and got scammed. Like we pulled up there and they were like, these tickets have already been used.
Aren't tickets like sold out for months?
No, some of them weren't. There were some on Ticketmaster, but like I realized that the closer it got to the date, they released a couple here and there. But and then of course they have that stupid verified resale shit that they did where it was more expensive. But I tried to get it on StubHub and I was just like,
And you got scammed.
it's that
we spent a lot of money trying to like go see it, and I was so disappointed because it's such a like I've heard nothing but great things about it. You know what I mean?
Nigga on rollerblades.
But that's the one that he brought out
Tevin Campbell.
Right?
Yeah, he brings out people. He brought out DeVito.
You would have seen Tevin Campbell that night though.
Whatever.
Yeah, the day that you were there, the Tevin
No, he
Campbell.
did it on the Saturday.
I don't know
we
what
tried
day
to
it
go
was.
on like a Wednesday.
Whatever day you were out there, I saw the video of the
wow.
Tevin Campbell thing, and I was wondering.
Damn.
I was like, "Ooh, I wonder if they had not." But
Yeah,
then I was like,
I read
I was like, it's probably sold out for months. They probably had no chance.
I read in the comment feed that Can We Talk, that whole album was actually supposed to be for Usher.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just crazy.
Yeah. Super wild.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about it, Tevin Campbell was non-dancing Usher before Usher in terms of like where his career was going. They had him on TV shows.
Yeah.
He was the child star. Like he was a heartthrob.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when Usher came, everything kind of transitioned. I don't know what, like, have we ever gotten the story about what happened to Tevin Campbell? Because the man can clearly still sing.
Yeah, I heard something about depression, but I don't know if that was...
At that age, in that time, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
And to be black in that time, at that age, and know you're depressed and do something about it, hey, kudos to him, if that's the truth.
I really want to know what happened to him now.
But yes, there was one night. Well, no. First of all, let's start at the beginning.
Oh, he came out.
Shout out to Obama Ross Clot.
He came out.
Yeah, he came out recently.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's like everyone was
I
like,
didn't
we knew. It was one of those like, Kevin, come on.
Can we talk?
Can we talk, Kevin?
We should have talked about this a long time ago because we knew.
We had Obama Ross Clot. Shout out to Obama Ross Clot. Donovan, on the show.
Mr. Bomba.
if you haven't listened to the episode,
It's a
You
classic.
should.
Top 5.
It's
Top
a classic. Go back and listen to it. It's on
Top
our
five,
or
top
watch
five,
it.
top
It's on our
five.
YouTube. Yeah, he was spitting some bars, and not everybody liked it. You know what I mean? We put the little clip on TikTok and Instagram, and it was there for a couple of days. It went a little viral. About 150,000 views. Viral. And I woke up. I can't even remember what morning it was. Doesn't really matter. Woke up and seen Nicki Minaj in the TikTok notification thing. So I'm thinking somebody named Nicki Minaj something.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. I go on there in the notifications. I see a lot of blue check marks. I'm like,
Verification.
absolutely
Verification.
not. No fucking way. So I go on her page. I'm looking. I'm like, this is Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is yelling at us at 4 a.m. somewhere in the world. I don't know what the time zone she's on. Hopefully it's Europe, because this is wild. Hopefully it's not Europe. To be that angry in the morning is just unhinged. I don't know how the video found its way to her algorithms. Perhaps she follows some Barbs or something, because they were not happy.
The Barbs were
the
Barbs are never happy.
They're happy sometimes, but it's only when she's number one.
Yeah. And she releases new music.
So first she started going in. She first said, "Do y'all tell anyone else what kind of song they must record? I do music. I feel when the right song comes at the right time. You sit on a couch.
And we sit on it so
Where else do you do podcasts? You're supposed to do a podcast for 2 hours, standing up." And why is a couch a broke people thing? That's what's being insinuated here. You sit on a couch. You have a couch as well.
Yeah.
You know, we all have
Probably
couches
has
to
many
sit on.
couches.
Didn't she sit on a couch and take pictures with Rocky and Rihanna? Wasn't that a couch? We didn't complain. We didn't say, "Hey, that's a couch." Very odd insults. And then she started going in on some of the Gravy Gang that was in the comments that had something to say. She told one person, "Go clean out your dirty fucking house," which, by the way, I would like to point out, Jamaican.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "Why am I just learning about this podcast?" Like they were excited that they've learned about the podcast. She didn't think that was the reason why. She said because they can't get attention unless they bash a successful black woman.
Oh my gosh.
We weren't bashing you, Nikki. I mean, I do, but
Do we know what the word bash means? Can you look up bashing? Just look up bashing. Let's get the exact definition, so I'm not just talking out of my ass here. But I believe there's a difference between bashing and constructive criticism,
and
Which
commenting.
which I think Bomba Rasta was trying to do.
An opinion.
An opinion as well.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like people become famous and like forget what comes with fame. And I get it. Fame is a little different now where you have access to consumer opinions a lot easier. But you think after being in the game this long, being a legend, having countless number ones and all these accolades, that these type of things would matter to you. Unless, of course, we struck a chord.
Yeah.
Here's something. Let's try this out. Let's try something.
Was that a nerve?
Yeah.
Rihanna doesn't have a soca song.
She doesn't. She should make one. It was a startling
one.
revelation to me as well when we put this out there. People were like, "Well, Rihanna doesn't have one. Why didn't you say that about her?"
Well, yeah, she should.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I do, but she's another one that needs one.
And isn't Trinidad more known for soca than
Barbados?
Yeah, but Barbados has a carnival, so they're really into soca.
They're really into
They got
soca.
a lot of soca artists out there. So,
and the other thing that was just so fucking funny to me is they thought we were Trini.
Oh, yeah.
They thought we were Trinidadian. The entire, like everyone that watched the video thought we were Trinidadian.
And not one of us are Trini. He's
Not
the
a
closest,
soul.
just from Marshall's.
This is Macho
connection.
Mantano's chef here, and he's still not from Trinidad. So very
honorable Trini Pino.
Yeah, it was a very interesting week to say the least. The Barbs, you guys are hilarious, honestly.
I woke up from a text from a friend saying, let me read it. So I got this message at like 6 a.m. because I'm like 3 hours.
Sent you that as a voice note.
Close enough. She said, girl, why did my brother just send me the TikTok dying? Laugh my ass off. Tiana, go check on your friends. Nikki comment. I'm like, what? Like, I was so confused. I was like, Nikki who?
You still have mata in your eyes.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And then she called GC and they're on the phone talking about it. And it made her go through her Twitter and delete anything that she's ever said about Nicki Minaj. She's like,
look, all y'all scared of picking them.
She had liked some of your tweets and retweeted some of your tweets, and then she was like, wait, why am I doing this? And she like searched up her whole tweet history that had to do with Nicki or Nicki Minaj and was like deleting it. And then she was like, yo, I seen your tweets like, Nicki Minaj would be pretty if she didn't have this nose. Like some wild shit that she said when she was like 16 years old. And so and she was like, why
Don't
was
say
I
anymore
like
before
this?
the Barbs find her.
I was gonna say, man, there's still receipts.
We're under
Watch
surveillance right now.
Yeah.
We're under surveillance. Yeah, it was just very funny, man. Like, and then she came back hours later. For some reason,
we're
still on her mind, even though everything we're saying holds no merit. It's unwarranted. It's uncalled for.
Yeah.
It's dumb. We're stupid. We're on a couch.
Yeah.
And she came back to the couch hours
I'm not on
later.
a couch. I'm on a chair.
She came back to the couch hours later screaming, them I bleach out them skin. Then she went and tweeted it. And the Barb started tagging me in the tweet, catch it. And I'm like, okay. First of all, I've only gotten darker my whole life. If you know me, I've only gotten darker. Second of all, these are weed lips. Get used to it.
He's gonna bleach his lips eventually.
I'm
so yes,
definitely tattooing these bad boys in the winter. So y'all don't have to worry about that no more. And third of all, that's Jamaican again. That's not, at least diss me with a soca song, please. At least stop proving us right. And then when you drop your next single, you're gonna prove us right again. I seen the preview for the next single. I'll let you guys deal with that when it comes out. But hey, man, we said what we said. People started writing in there, oh, you guys clearly don't know Pound the Alarm. Went and listened to it.
It's a house music
house song.
The video was shot in Trinidad.
Yeah. That's it. She's literally doing what she's done. That's basically Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Chun-Li, what'd she do? Dress up as an Asian woman or Chinese woman, which they were very offended by. And it had nothing to do with that at all.
Yeah.
This one, she does a video in 2012, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, she gave you guys a look of, here. And you guys are satisfied.
The fact that the problem is that they don't even know what soca music is.
That's the biggest problem of
Yeah.
all of it. They think that all the Caribbean islands speak island.
They're all the same.
They don't think that there's a difference between how Trinidadian people speak, how Jamaican people speak, how Bajan. I don't even know if they know Bajans are from the islands or Barbados. Like, they know Barbados because of Rihanna.
Yeah.
But they don't know they don't know anything about the culture or the history. They don't know about...
Don't get into the differences between Trinidad and Guyana.
Listen, it's just... I do not feel any type of way about all of this situation. We said what we said. It was an opinion, and it was one that if they went and watched the tapes, we defended her for a little bit after that and said that, you know, she's been through a lot, yada, 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 the powers that be, blah, blah, blah. We've defended her. I know I've defended her a couple times on this podcast against what this guy's had to say. Norman's never defended her, and that's fine. That's his prerogative. But yeah, no, I feel like we didn't do anything too malicious. Like, at the end of the day, it was constructive criticism. Some people know how to take it. Nikki has a track record of not knowing how to take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
It's not the first Toronto person she's attacked for constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So she pretty much hates Toronto.
Yeah.
But mind you, I don't
She's
hate
never
her.
gonna come back.
I just don't like talking about her. That's it. I don't mind her. She's cool, but I don't feel the need to talk about her. I've already said Nikki's a legend. She's got countless She is.
hits.
She
is.
She's got an incredible career, accolades. I'm just of the ilk of, like, legends shouldn't be doing certain things. And there's certain things that legends should be doing. Especially when you come from a certain place and you're bigging up a certain place that could use that. Well, the last time I heard about Nicki Minaj, she did a concert in Trinidad that cost $800,000 and took away from local shows and local artists. And then it ended up being some corruption involved with that, with the government as well. That's not, to me, someone that wants to give back to the country that they
And then
claim.
I heard that, like, her husband, when they went to Carnival, her husband was acting like really stush and whatever. And so a lot of Trinis were like mad.
I mean, that's
too.
That's subjective, and I get he's probably not used to that culture or
Absolutely not.
anything that's going on.
And then I
so I'm
also
not
heard
gonna-
that she was pregnant at the time, so he might have been like,
he's
more
every
like,
overworked and shit. Like,
defensive.
You never know.
In terms of her. I also seen people commenting on, like, your stuff, like, oh, well, she's giving money to, like, countless schools and done this and that and all that stuff.
50 racks.
Sure.
Oh,
It was like 50 racks, apparently.
regardless, like, that doesn't, like, matter. I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying that she should make a soca song. That's it.
Like, nobody's talking about financials here.
Yeah,
We're
there's
talking
so many,
about-
like, great artists.
Talking
like,
about sticking to your roots and stop cosplaying.
work with Marshall.
She like, and the thing is, they're friends. Like, you went to Carnival
With him.
just a couple of years ago, and you were with Marshall, you were with Kess, you were with all these people. So it's not like you don't have access to them. You're Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
You're arguably the most famous person Trinidad's ever seen. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
This is actually really funny. I only read whatever Nikki posted. I didn't read what everybody else posted, but this is funny. This really is funny.
It's hilarious because everybody
Everyone's like,
that's
"What
not a
song
Nicki
has-"
Minaj super fan is agreeing, and even the ones that are fans of her are agreeing and saying people are trying to write songs in there, and people are like, "Oh, she did Hold You with Egyptian. Are you dumb?" I'm like, and people are there like, "That's not soca."
Yeah.
Like, you guys keep
Everyone's like,
naming these trash
Ariana did
songs.
soca?
Yeah, that too. People did not know
Like,
Ariana did soca.
Ariana.
Yeah,
I guess it's more Major Lazer. That's why, but still.
Well,
Welp. Poor dat, as Rihanna would say.
she's always
Moving
so
right
sad.
along, we have Rolling Loud this weekend, aka Banner Weekend Part 2. It's gonna be a wild time in the city for 3 days.
Wow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have Rolling Loud for the first time in Toronto. Countless Toronto acts on the billing. A lot of big time acts are going to be in the city at the same time. I've never seen this many celebrities and talent in the city at one time.
once.
It's never happened, to my knowledge.
Except for Carabet back in the day.
Well, maybe the
Back in the
SARS
day, yeah.
concert. The SARS concert back in the day.
Oh, I don't
That was a
remember
big
that
one. But you don't remember that one? It's the biggest. It was one of the biggest concerts in like North American history.
They were
Really?
they were throwing half-open piss bottles
At Justin Timberlake. When he performed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're like, "What the fuck? Why you bring this pop ass bitch here?" Dog? And they pelted him. It was bad. It was one of the darkest moments in Toronto history in terms of shows.
I do not remember.
You don't know
this
that story?
At all. No.
Go watch the video. You'll see beer
Wow.
cans just fucking getting launched.
Yeah, like he'd be like, "Don't be
It was
so
when-
quick to walk away."
Oh wow.
Dance.
It was when we had just got over SARS and the
Yeah.
mad cow disease. And they were
Yeah.
trying to bring back people to
Tourism,
beef
yeah.
and meat. And so there was a lot of beef and meat donors there and food trucks and shit like that.
They did a
lot of
it was
people.
a Rolling Stones AC/DC concert with the Isley Brothers, Justin Timberlake.
It was huge.
It was huge. It was huge.
Humongous. It was like 2005, somewhere around there.
Something like that.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
I
Rolling
wouldn't know a
Loud.
thing.
You didn't know a thing? Yeah, no, SARS had a COVID moment.
Yeah.
But I was so young, it didn't really feel COVID-y.
Yeah. I remember that.
SARS
though.
was the COVID trial. Like
COVID
this-
light.
It was them saying like, "Hey, let's see if we could do this thing real quick. Let's try
Conspiracy
it out."
norm. Conspiracy
I've
norm.
been thinking SARS was just the
Ooh.
first trial run to see where we can go with this.
Well, I mean,
Audition.
like,
Audition with a cough.
COVID is a strain of SARS.
Yeah.
So, like, when you look at the full name, it's like SARS something, 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 whatever. Novel coronavirus, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wild.
I honestly think that was just step one.
Phase
anyways.
one. Move over a little bit. You're not in the center no more. I want you. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Rolling Loud this weekend. My boy won VIP tickets. Just won them.
Wow.
And my girl was like, "Yo, let's get Rolling Loud tickets." Like when they first dropped, and I was like,
Nah.
something will happen. I trusted that something would happen where I would get tickets to this thing without having to pay for it. And thank God. This guy won a contest at like a sneaker store.
Oh, wow.
Got 4 VIP tickets, not even like just
Jeez.
regular tickets.
And he
like-
gave you one?
Yeah, because I brought him to Watch the Throne concert years
like
ago.
2008.
And somebody had given me the tickets.
Is it 2018, 2008?
I can't remember.
When was Watch the Throne? It
No,
was so long
no,
ago.
that was way before that. I think it was 2015 maybe.
No. Watch the Throne. I
Go
was
check. Just
no,
Google it. Just Google it.
because Watch the Throne. I was still
Do your job.
I worked at Air Canada Center. I would have never worked at Air Canada Center there. It was probably like 2000.
Anyways,
11.
we basically went
2011.
to 2011. You said 2018.
No,
nigga.
and then I changed it, and I was like, "Wait, I used to work there."
That's
So
a great year.
2011.
Wow, 2011. Watch the Throne and House of Balloons and Take Care. What a year! What
got
a
it.
year!
We got it all.
Oh my God, we were spoiled. But yeah, met up with him, and I brought my boy Kyle. Shout out to Chosen, and we get there, and our tickets are like 20th row or 30th row floor, right? Which is not bad. Like it's kind of far back on the floor,
Yeah.
but it's still, you're on the floor. Like, it's a vibe. Get in there.
And it's not that bad because they perform from both sides.
Well, I didn't even know what to expect, to be honest.
Oh.
So I was just going in there like, okay, we're on the floor. It's going to be a good show. Get inside there. And right before you get to the walk up to go to the seats, that little tunnel into the stadium, they have the attendants on the outsides of each of them. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? There's a line. Get to the end of the line. I give him my ticket. He's just like, oh, okay. So the stage has been, like the way it's set up, we've had to rearrange seating because of the stage setup. So we're going to have to change your ticket. So he's like, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, cool. So I'm standing there. I'm like, here we go. Nosebleeds. Like, I knew this was too good to be true. Comes back, 9th row. Floor.
Jeez. Nice.
I'm like, losing my mind, bro. And we get in there, you see the whole stage set up, and it's just a ramp. Like, it wasn't like a normal stage. This is the first time seeing a stage that didn't look like a stage. Like, it's just a ramp, like a WWE ramp. And it's just 2 black screens on either side. There's a black thing here at the back. And Jay-Z comes out. Everybody loses their minds, does like 3-4 songs, walks off. Kanye comes out the other side, walks out, doesn't do a song, stands there and just looks at us for like, I didn't know at that time like what he was doing, but all I could see was like the most intimidating stare I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like he's looking at us like he could fuck us all up.
Yeah.
Like he's just standing there looking at everybody. And that's when he used to wear the big ass chains and shit. Like he used, and he was more
bit more
jacked.
D's.
He was
Yeah.
jacked before Yeezus, like right before Yeezus. And then the song drops and you just see him turn up. It was wild. And then they had this moment, Jay-Z pops up behind you on this square, like this cube, and the cube just starts rising out of the ground. And then Kanye's on the other cube across from him. That rises out of the ground. And on Jay-Z's, you see sharks like trying to get out of the screen. Like they're trying to push through the screen.
Like
and
Jaws.
on Kanye's, you see Rottweilers drooling, just barking like just trying to get out of the screen as well. Like, and they're facing each other. It was amazing. It's one of the best concerts I've ever been to. That's when I knew Kanye was that guy still, because that was the time when we were like, okay, he's made classics, but like, where's it going next? It was after 808s and all that other stuff.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah, and it was just like, how is he gonna even, like, every album we're like, he can't top that. And it's like he matches it or did top it.
Yeah.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy comes out, he gets damn near perfect on Metacritic.
Yeah.
Like every critic is giving him like 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. And Watch the Throne, when that came out, I don't think anybody had any rumblings. I don't think there was a leak. Like Otis just dropped one day and the world changed. And I went back and listened to that album. It's kind of mid.
Very mid.
It's kind of
not even very.
I think
mid.
we were wrapped up in the moment.
Yeah.
That album is not good.
No, it's because there's two. It was the singles that were hot. The rest of the album,
not
trash.
so good.
Really?
No
I
Church
think
in the
that-
Wild, Otis, and
The one with Frank Ocean.
that's the No Church in the Wild.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Those, yeah. I'm sorry. The rest are not memorable or something that I'm just going to like just bump. I don't know what it is. But
I don't know.
It was a weird Jay-Z time though. I think that's the problem. Kanye showed out. Like Kanye is the standout on the whole album.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z was in his Magna Carta moment.
Yeah, it was
and
weird.
I fucking hated that Tom Ford Jay-Z moment when he thought he was Basquiat all of a sudden. Like it was, no. I was not a fan.
I mean, the dreads now give him more Basquiat, but then it was still like, you're just getting us into buying or into art.
Yeah.
And it's just like, only you could do that. We can't.
He just is too much references that he expected us to just get, and that just didn't hit. Speaking of Jay-Z not hitting, he did a little Twitter space recently. He did a Twitter space recently. It did not go well.
Oh.
It did not go well.
What is a Twitter space, by the way?
Twitter space is like Clubhouse for
on
Twitter.
Twitter.
So instead of leaving Twitter, you could just start a room on Twitter, and everybody could talk in there. And
Does Clubhouse still bump?
I mean, it still exists.
But
Sure, probably
it
there might be pockets of the world where it's like huge. You never know, right?
Yeah.
But
North
at least
America,
here, it's not. Yeah, it's not the wave at all.
Okay, I'm so happy.
But he went on. He had a discussion, and I'm not even too sure what it was in regards to. But at some point, he maybe I should just play it because it's. I want to know if you guys can spot what is wrong with what he's saying. Let me see. Where's the volume here? But this is the thing with Jay-Z as well that I noticed. Do you guys think that because he's barely in the public eye, when he does slip, people go overboard because he never slips?
Probably.
For sure.
Because he's so quiet. It's like, I don't know.
You can barely get anything on him and Beyonce. That I feel like, especially when they became billionaires, it was like, oh, but billionaires are evil. They're evil. Like, and it just kind of a turn on them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Stains always shine brighter on a clean shirt.
Okay. Okay, Kubla. I'll play the clip.
Still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever. Yes. Yeah, we're not gonna stop. You know, this the hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever you know this public puts out there now. That before was the American dream. Pull yourself out of bootstraps, and you can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like capitalist and things like that. I mean, we've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, doesn't include us. We said, fine. We went our alternate route. We created this music. We did our thing. We hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And now it's like, eat the rich and think, man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is, from us, we came from selling.
So, yeah.
So when he said technology, was he trying to reference FK? What's that?
I think he was just trying to say
Mecca?
trick without, like, trying to make it sound boring. It's Jay-Z in words. You know how he is. We not falling for the technology. But yeah, in there he said, y'all call this niggas and monkeys, and now they inventing words like capitalists, and I'm like, now, Jigga, that's always been a word, and it's that they didn't invent it for black people. I'll tell you, that's the one thing I can't blame white people for. Sorry, Podcast B, you guys did not call us capitalists. I think that's better than the N-word, personally. It cuts through the air a little bit nicer. Goddamn capitalists always come to our country. But yeah, no. I think for Jay-Z, people were like destroying him for this. First of all, like there were threads, think pieces, all the things.
Always a think piece.
All of the things. And I think for what he's speaking on, I don't think in his mind he could fathom that black people could genuinely believe that he's an evil billionaire. And I think that that's why he's saying they're not going to get us to stop. They're not going to trick us into doing these little plays and whatever. Because black people are the ones holding them to the fire. When they did that Tiffany's ad, black people were the ones like, bro, that's blood diamonds. Like, what are you guys dealing with? They have a history of killing African people and enslaving them for these diamonds. And in Jay-Z's mind, I think he's the sensationalized. I don't even want to say sensationalized because it's an amazing story. The story of his come up and how he's gone from this guy who was in Marcy Projects, grew to be a successful drug dealer, then left the drug game for the rap game, killed that, then became a boss, married Beyonce, doubled his money again. Like, he just kept leveling up. And he knows he's such a source of inspiration to the hood and to certain, especially to the black community, that it behooves him that we could have any
behoves him.
Behoves him. That was great. That we would have any criticism for him and the way he's gotten that money. Do you think it's fair for us to
criticize him?
Like, I've always said, there is no way in hell I will ever be a billionaire because I'll give away money before I even get to that point. Like, I don't need $1 billion. I don't need $100 million. You know what I mean? So I'm of the firm belief that if I was ever in that position, I would give away money. But I can't speak for everyone. I can't put my morals or ethics of money on everyone. Do you guys think it's fair for people to hold them to the fire?
I feel like they do give money. Do you know what I mean?
They do.
So it's like, are they not giving enough money quick enough? Like, do they want people to stay? I don't know. It's such a weird topic because nobody's ever happy. Whenever they see somebody reach a billionaire status, they always complain about something, right? We've seen it with like Kylie getting it, right?
Yeah.
There's always like, oh, well, she did this, this, and this. And like, they're upset about, what's his name? The Amazon guy.
Bezos.
Yeah, going to $1 trillion. Well, that's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
still. But there's always people who are mad at it, and it's like, we can't continue to be mad at this because it's still gonna happen. But like when our people, like when you look at the grand scheme and look at all the billionaires in the world and stuff like that, like there's not that many of us, at least in this like hemisphere in like North America. Africa has like a lot of black billionaires that we don't even know because they're oil tycoons and stuff like that. But it's like, why can't we just celebrate it? Like, I'm sure that they give money back. Do you know what I mean? Like, Beyonce does so much stuff. Like, Hove has done so much stuff for like prisoners and stuff like that. So it's like, why is it never good enough? I just feel like we always continue to critique people that have money.
Everybody kind of like speaking about what they would do if they were that person.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but it's like realistically, you're not even going to be that person. You're never going to get to be that person. Like, you know,
most people.
Yeah. Like most people aren't going to. So it's like, why?
Well, that's what I think that's part of their gripe.
Living
like
in like
most
a
people
whole
aren't
fantasy.
going to get to there. So why aren't you giving us more money so we can get to there? It's like, and I think people, like I always relate it back to the first time I did a Honda commercial and it was a motorcycle I was on or allegedly on in the commercial, and people genuinely asked me, no bullshit, did you get to keep the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Like they thought that's how commercials and stuff worked because
That you
they
get to
don't
keep
know.
everything.
They think you get to keep everything, and it's just like this. It just comes with it, and you get paid a stupid amount of money. I got paid $2,000. You know what I mean? So people have a perception of things they see and don't know entirely about, just what they would do if they were that person or whatever. And so when you see them, Beyonce, do something for small businesses and put like a website of a list of all the small businesses and everything like that, and put money into a website that funds creators and all the different things, people go, oh, tax write-off.
Yeah.
Rich people have to pay a lot of taxes. That's just tax write-off. They're not doing that because they want to.
Guess what? Everybody could do that though and get tax write-off.
But what they're not seeing, is that other rich people who need to do tax write-offs find loopholes in which they don't help anybody.
Yeah.
They literally just find the loophole, put the money into it, tax is done.
Yep.
They're making a concerted effort to not just throw the money into a loophole that could not benefit anyone.
Yeah,
they put it back into the community. They've put it into, I've seen the Katrina relief, they've put money into that when it happened. There's so many different times we've heard of Beyonce or Jay-Z or both of them stepping up for somebody.
And I'm sure that they do things behind closed doors too.
Yeah.
But like, obviously I wouldn't know. I'm not behind closed doors. But I just think that there's so much wasted energy when people get on social media, Twitter especially, and just go in these little rants and get angry. It's like, yo, just be happy that there's even something.
Like, do you think Jigga's gonna
there's definitely
send you
another
money?
person. Yeah, like there's definitely another person who's doing way less than
And then
what they're doing.
I feel like rich people and the billionaires, and when they do philanthropy or any of those things where they're giving, they'd rather not say it, you know? Because like the more they say it, people are like, oh, now you're just doing it to, you know?
Well, that's how I feel it should be, which is unfortunate because you can do all these things in private,
And then people
and then
get upset.
people get upset
And then
because
you
they
do
don't see it
things-
publicly. But then when
you
you
do
do
it
it
in
publicly,
publicly, they
you
get
didn't do
upset.
it the right way,
Yeah.
or you didn't do it enough.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You're
broke
never gonna
people
please
are
people.
never happy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because they broke.
So yeah, so there's no pleasing them.
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like,
Us, I should say us.
yeah,
I am
like,
included.
yeah, but I don't
For
go and complain about it.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Do something about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's just so weird to me.
I had a startling revelation about Twitter the other day.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, if you think about it, like, we're all like people who actively use Twitter. I mean, like every day, even if it's just one or two tweets. As long as you're an everyday user of Twitter, need therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you were unheard as a child. I think I know I was. So it's like I feel like because of it would be different if Twitter was a very open and understanding space. But everyone's so close to their ideals and their morals and thrive off of making other people look dumb or look stupid or pile on, that's not coming from a healthy place or from people that want genuinely the best for people who are taking L's on the internet. Those are people who were unheard, didn't get the attention they thought they deserved growing up, and now this is their soapbox. And this is where they can get off their shit. And people retweet it and like it, and they feel validated and finally heard. Yeah. And so it's a dopamine. It just keeps going. They feed into it more and more. I'm a victim of it too, but I recognize the trauma. I don't think a lot of those people understand that
there's something wrong.
There's something wrong, because to me, the most, like, when I hear someone says, I don't use Twitter, I don't use Instagram, I don't use any of that stuff, I'm like, wow, what's it like to be healthy? Yeah. What's it like to be healthy? You don't need distractions.
No. You don't have no addiction.
Like people who go to the club, they don't drink, they don't smoke, have the time of their life. I'm like, wow, you're doing it right. Yeah. Like, realistically, we should not need alcohol to have fun.
We shouldn't.
But it's like a requirement. Like, I get in the club, I'm like, shots.
Yeah.
It's not because it's fun either. It's not because it's fun. Drinking is not fun. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't feel good the next day. You're literally torturing yourself.
It's an escapism. People, it helps you
loosen up.
Allegedly.
But isn't that a form of, it's some sort of trauma? Why do you need to loosen up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't you, if you're going somewhere with the intention of having a good time and having fun, shouldn't just walking in be activate that? There's so many different things that we normalize that I'm like, wow, we need healing as a nation. Like, Instagram people, that's a different type of mental illness over there. Like, it's not the same as what's happening on Twitter. But although it is turning into that with the fucking Instagram notes, people are getting their shits off. Oh boy! in 1.5 sentences. It's crazy.
I like it.
You'd like Twitter.
I like reading it because it's easier to read than on Twitter. Like Twitter, till this day, I still haven't figured out how to read feeds and shit.
Read feeds?
Like you know,
read the feed?
Like read the feed.
You're literally on it.
I know, but
I'm
like
looking at you on it.
I mean, let's say I click, like, I don't know. Sometimes you'll send something, then I'm like, all right, let me see what other people are saying, and I get so frustrated. I'm like, I don't know how to find what people. Never mind, I'll put it down.
You click it, and people are saying things.
I guess.
You're overcomplicating it in your mind.
Does it take you to the actual app when you?
He's on the app right now.
No. Say Marlon sends you something. Does it take you to the actual app, or is it just a link that pops up?
No, it takes you to the app.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't take me to my app.
Yeah, it always says like sign in or log in or whatever.
Mine will take me to like it's like a link, and so that's harder. That's harder to read what like other comments or threads, because then it goes and like takes in other similar tweets you might be interested in. Like it's stupid.
Yeah,
so you have to like go to the actual
iPhones are
app.
Shit. That's insane. Why wouldn't it go to the app?
I don't know. I guess you have to like
you guys are slaves to these phones. Honestly, this is every time I talk to an iPhone user, it's some sort of fucking pain. Like, what's going on? You click a Twitter link and it doesn't go to Twitter.
No, look, see, it goes. I just clicked something Matt did,
my gosh.
and it goes to this. But you have to like actively switch to the app for it to bring you to the app, and then you'd be able to see it.
This is what I talk about with the iPhone.
But
everything I do on my phone, you guys take 2 or 3 steps to do, and that's why I will never go back.
Yeah, and see, when you scroll, then it says like log in or sign up. And
I'm so happy I'm out of the Matrix, man. I'm so happy I'm out of the fucking Matrix.
You were barely even there.
I was there for 10 years almost.
Really?
What? I had iPhone since the first one. I was dedicated.
Oh, I thought you just got it for Clubhouse, remember?
Nah, I got it again for Clubhouse. What a mistake that was. Shout out Kevin Hart. Speaking of Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish
had a rough week this week, man. We'll start with her co-conspirator. Ari Spears. You guys know Ari Spears? You remember Ari Spears from Mad TV. You know who Ari Spears is?
Ari Spears.
One of the best Jay-Z impersonators of all time.
Yep. He used to have one of the best Jay-Z impersonations. He was a regular on Mad TV back in the day. Since he has grown raccoon eyes and become old and bitter.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He recently made news for getting at Lizzo for apparently no reason. She doesn't know him from a hole in the wall. So I didn't understand that. But hey, get your clout. Like, it's nasty to me when people just say, fuck it, I need clout, and just do nasty things. So yeah, he was already under fire. And then it comes out that Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears are being sued for grooming a 14-year-old girl and coercing her 7-year-old brother, and coercing them into filming explicit child video. I watched.
It was a sketch.
It was leading to that. Let's put it that way. Okay. I'll explain the video. So I watched this video years ago, and when I had watched it, it had just come out, and at that time, I was like, "This is
wrong.
This is bad." Like, there's never been. So it's not even like one of those where it's like, "Oh, times were different." No, this is just nasty. Video starts. Tiffany Haddish brings in her son, 7-year-old boy. He's in underwear, and he's playing with toys. She brings him in. She's like, "All right, I got to run to the store. Could you look after him real quick, blah, blah." Ari Spears is like, "Yeah, look after him." He's dressed as like an older man or whatever. And she's like, "Okay, do what your uncle says," and leaves, right? Ari Spears now, the boy is playing with toys on the floor in his underwear. Ari Spears is holding a newspaper. R. Kelly comes on, because, obviously. Bump and grind. And my mind's telling me no, my body's telling me yes. The front part of the newspaper drops, and there are 2 eyes cut out in the second newspaper. And you just see him watching the little boy's ass. Like, they do a perspective of it literally zooming in on this little kid's ass. Oh, God. It was
so weird.
And then they do it again. The Tiffany Haddish, next scene, Tiffany Haddish walks in again. "Hey, could you look after him? I got to go to the store, blah, blah, blah." Do what your uncle says. Leaves him. Kid's taking a bubble bath. And he does this exact same thing. R. Kelly song, newspaper, eyes cut out. He's just watching the kid. Then he eventually jumps into the bathtub with him.
Oh, my God.
Fully clothed, jumps into the bathtub. And he's at one point he's taking a toy that, like, the little garden hoses or garden pots. Takes one of those and he's like sprinkling the water over the little boy in like slow motion. I'm like, what? Like,
and what year was
so
this?
Much. This is 2014. It's not even like it's like.
So my man already had multiple seasons of Mad TV, and
this is what he's way past Mad TV at this point. Like, this is,
and he couldn't tell that wasn't a written sketch.
You just have to be a fucking human being to know that that's not a written sketch.
And it's not even a joke, because
there's nothing
it's like
funny about
real
it.
life where like uncles have extremely bad raps of inappropriately touching their nieces and nephews. Man. You know what I mean?
Disgusting, bro. And like, they put it on Funny or Die's website, which was Will Ferrell's website, back in the day. But the thing about Funny or Die is it's user submitted for a lot of the videos. So I used to put my videos on there back in the day as well. Funny or Die, when they did spot the video, said it was absolutely disgusting and they removed it. But people, after this article came out from TMZ that they were being sued, people went into there's some site called like Wayback, something like that, where you can find literally any old post from the internet as long as you put in the date.
Wow.
And people found the video, and it was circulating on the timeline. People are immediate heel turn. Well, they're already laying into Ari Spears for the Lizzo shit, so this was just, easy work.
Yeah.
But Tiffany Haddish obviously is in the video as well. Although her part isn't as nasty, I don't give a fuck. You were in the video. You might have helped write the video. Yeah. She didn't use her son. It was somebody else's son.
Okay, I thought you said it was her son.
No.
No, it was somebody else's son in like the skit, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Now, the part that's tricky is the mom is known for scamming and has allegedly been trying to get Tiffany Haddish out of her coins for a couple years now. Like this is not her first or second attempt apparently. So there's that element as well. But yeah, no, for me, everybody involved, it's like there's just too much opportunity to be like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
You wrote it, nobody said anything. You put it together and organized it, nobody said anything. You had to coerce a child, still didn't think that was wrong. You had to probably at some point manipulate or coerce their mother, because what mom's going to allow this video to be made?
Yeah.
Then you filmed it, still thought it was all right. You edited it, still thought it was all right. You put it out, still thought it was all right. Funny or Die took it down, and that's when you're like, maybe it was a bad idea. And never spoke about it again.
Yeah.
I think if Tiffany Haddish had earlier in her career said, listen, I've done some stupid things, and came forward and said it before the internet, because it's whenever you get caught doing something, especially something that's old, if you apologize, people are like, you're just apologizing because you got caught.
Yeah.
Even if you are genuine about that apology, no one's thinking you're apologizing for actually doing it. So I feel like it's one of those things that she should have definitely got ahead of, and her team should have got ahead of, knowing that this was out there and that they've done it. It's not that far back into the past.
Yeah. But obviously they knew that there was going to be a lawsuit that was coming down the pipeline, you know?
Well, I think that, like I said, I don't think this is the first or second one. So I think because the first one.
No, but it's like, why wouldn't you speak on it if?
But that's what I'm saying. If the first one if it failed, they're probably thinking,
oh, it's never gonna like come out.
You know what I mean? Which makes it even worse if that's an actual fact. Because that would be another opportunity for you to step ahead and take accountability before anybody else holds you to the fire. So, and this is 2014. I do understand, Tiffany Haddish at some point in her life was homeless, and desperate times call for desperate measures. Who knows?
That's only 8 years ago, man.
That's 8 years, but realistically, she didn't get rich until when? When did Tiffany Haddish pop out? 2016, maybe 2017, when she started doing she was in one movie with it was a Girls Trip one. And then after that, she did a late night talk show to promote the movie. And she was so funny telling stories.
That's when people
started to take notice of her. And then they kept bringing her on different late night shows, and she kept being funny. And then after that, it was just, she blew up. For me, I've always felt very conflicted with Tiffany Haddish. At one point, on one hand, I love seeing a black female comedian especially get some shine, because there's very few of them that really do get an actual mainstream look.
Yeah.
You got Monique, Regina King, or Hall. I always get them mixed up. Regina Hall, the one that was just in the movie with
Sterling Brown. Regina King. No, that one.
See?
No, sorry. Regina King is the one that did Boondocks.
Yeah.
Regina Hall.
I always get them mixed up. So yeah, there's very few black female comedic actors, and there's a million white female comedic actors.
Yeah.
So I've always been rooting for her, but she's always made moves that I don't agree with.
Yeah, she has too much controversial topics that surround her,
The Clubhouse incident.
Yeah.
That happened during the pandemic, where she was literally yelling at 12 certified real doctors and telling them that no, they're misleading people and spreading vaccine misinformation and doubling down on it. Just a lot of just weird moments. And for me, the moment that I hate the most is the chicken in the purse at Met Gala.
Oh.
That part, and then the highlighting of it from white media publications led me to believe that they've only propped her up because she's reinforcing the stereotypes that they all believe already.
She's willing to be that.
She's a loud black woman with chicken in her purse.
Yeah.
Doing the nay-nay all the time. So it's I and then at the same time, I'm conflicted again, because I'm does she know that this might be one of the reasons? And if she does know, then she's feeding into it. If she doesn't know, then this is really, really sad.
Oblivious.
Then this is really sad. You know what I mean? So I've always just been conflicted with Tiffany Haddish in general. This makes me good off her.
Yeah. I get it.
This makes me good off her.
I completely understand.
If she was ridiculously funny, it'd be a different story. But I've seen specials since then that have never wowed me.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's a really good storyteller, but that's just where it ends. And seems a great personality as well.
And her role in Easter Sunday was weird. It was just kind of like, oh, yeah, we were friends when we were in high school. Go on, be in my movie, but like I'll write you in somehow. But there was no point of her being in there. It was just like
really
just to have my old friend from high school and the other A-list actor on there. Like it was literally her, Joe Coy, and maybe Jimmy O Yang, and that's it. You guys like, who's Jimmy O Yang?
Definitely a homie thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
So,
I seen Honk for Jesus.
You watched it? Don't tell me. Don't say anything about it, please. I've heard it's like really good. Is it really good?
No.
Damn. I heard
don't
it was
think,
really
like-
good. I heard it was like you expected one thing going into it, and it
I didn't know what I expected,
Changed.
but I was like, it's kind of pointless.
and you're a church person.
And
That's
it's
interesting.
and it's like,
It's about church, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna watch
But like it's typical. Like typical
it?
church shit. But it's just weird. Like it was kind of pointless. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of pointless. But
Pointless in what way?
like the storyline I felt like was
Like there was no risk. The risk wasn't high enough, or like the payoff wasn't there in the end.
Yeah, it didn't really end well. Like it
Bad
didn't.
endings
It kind
on
of just like
movies.
ended. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't
and
like
it's just
bad
like we
endings.
already know what was gonna happen, but we don't know what really happened. Like I don't know. It was just weird. It was different. So maybe that's why I thought it was like weird. But I was sitting in there like I really did not need to see this. Like
I felt that
But-
way watching Elvis. I'm
You
so
watched it.
serious. What a fucking horrible movie. Oh my God. Like, I'll put it this way. The guy playing Elvis, phenomenal job.
yeah,
He did a great job.
yeah.
But
He
the
really
way they
embodied
told
it.
the story was so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, I don't know
They were a little
who said, let's do a perspective of the manager. Horrible.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks accent. I want to fucking shoot myself. I've never been so annoyed by Tom Hanks in my life. I love Tom Hanks.
I was like, what is he? Is he Russian? Is he German?
Fam.
Is he?
But that's a part of the thing, right?
'Cause
Is
nobody
you don't
knows.
know where
Nobody
he is
knows,
from.
yeah.
He has no passport and shit. But
Yeah.
the way they tell the story, you remember when she was telling us about how he sees the black church? And
Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro. I almost shot my TV, bro. If I had a gun, it would have been a rat, dog. Fam, the man just observes a black guy smoking weed, playing a guitar through a fucking hole in the bottom of this like salon.
Yeah.
He goes, he turns his head. There's a fucking giant tent church in the middle of the field
The
with
desert.
nothing
It's like
around
nothing
it.
around it.
And black people going crazy in there. And you see his face, bro. The way his face is like he's discovering and absorbing all this music and inventing a sound. His face is like this. The whole like 10 minutes, bro. He goes into the church, catches the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Dog, literally like this. He's literally like this, surrounded by black people. They have this
And
little
then
white
they
boy going.
And they lift him up and everything like that. And
Yo,
they
they
do, like,
lift
the
him.
eagle,
Oh, it
they do
was
the
nasty.
eagle eye like
Oh,
shot.
it was nasty. You remember Game of Thrones when they picked up Daenerys and it was a sea of like minorities holding this white blonde woman up? Oh, it was nasty. It was nasty. But I will say this. They were slick. They were very slick. They never said that they never made it look like he diabolically stole these moves and these sounds from black people. But they show him stealing these moves from black. I don't know how to describe it. Like he goes to a Little Richard concert, watches Little Richard. He's like, "Oh, I like his moves. Oh, they love him here." Blah blah blah. Starts doing the moves.
and this is pre-internet where like you can't really fact check and be like, wait, who started this back then? in those
Well, you
times?
can. There's a lot of black historians that are pulling the cards
I mean,
on them.
then at the time.
Oh, you mean then?
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when Elvis took, it's like, yeah, let me bring this
But
back
even
to Memphis.
more importantly, even if white people did find out, they'd be like, "Yo, fuck them niggas."
yeah, exactly.
You doing it now?
We like how he does it better.
Which is exactly what Elvis's career seemed to be. And by the way, I don't know what they were smoking back then. To see a white boy shaking his leg and women.
The way they were going crazy was so
Alicia, I want to
hilarious.
fight you. I want to fight you for making me watch this shit, dog.
It was hilarious.
He's on stage. The girls are. Nobody knows him. Yeah. No one knows him.
He came out kind of nervous. Everybody's like, "Who the fuck
man,
is
shitting
this?"
his pants. He does his
little
leg thing that Elvis does, and they keep zooming in on this nigga's penis. Like they just keep zooming in on his dick. Which, by the way, there's no dick print. Nothing's showing. I don't know what's going on, but they zoom in on the dick area. Then they go to a different chick in the audience, and you see the girl, bro,
sweating.
the girl's looking at herself like this.
Something's coming over her.
Just start screaming.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and
suck my dick.
And they went to all different women, and then all of a sudden it went to like one of the women that worked at the label, and she started going crazy.
Bro,
like,
a woman that has heard him sing, a woman that works with him, was there when he recorded the song, is watching him perform, and she stands up, can't control herself, like unprovoked, just stands up, and like catches herself and sits back down. I'm like, this is just fucking insane. This is just fucking insane, bro.
And then there was another scene, so after that, the women would just gravitate and they would tell him, you can't perform like this. Just perform normally, whatever. Because it would cause mass hysteria with, all the women. Bro. And then there was one scene where he was with homegirl, his wife, Marie. Is it Marie?
Lisa
Marie.
Priscilla is his wife.
Yeah. And she was in the audience, and you see him just going around kissing all these women, and she's just sitting there so fucking bothered.
He's going down a line of women, just kissing them.
Yeah.
In the mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is the worst movie. This is the thing.
No.
The story of Elvis and everything that came with it.
Yeah.
Extremely sad. Extremely
when
sad.
you look at the story of it, absolutely. It's the story, you're like,
the man didn't
fuck.
even
They didn't have
leave.
to do all this. That's my point. Is the story so potent?
Yeah.
And so
they could have just been normal.
It had the opportunity to be White Ray. Let me put it that way. Because the guy playing Elvis, I'm telling you, he did really fucking well.
I didn't even know that
everybody
it wasn't Elvis.
Everybody around him, all right. Tom Hanks, I hated the accent, I hated all that, but Tom Hanks himself, playing whoever the guy is, you started to hate him. And that's a sign of a good actor.
Yeah, so he did his job.
So the story of Elvis is so potent, they didn't need to do any of this. Bro, when you watch it, it's too much, art. Yeah. Not enough story.
Yeah,
so they're trying to do the cool camera things.
Yeah.
They're trying to do the cool font stuff and the
they
zoom
have
outs.
some cartoon things popped up and stuff like that. Me and my sister laughed. We're like, this is confusing when Doja Cat played.
Oh my God!
Did you even catch it?
Yeah, no, I
they
didn't
played Doja Cat in the video, and my sister
Eminem.
was like, this is supposed to be in the 50s. Why are they playing Doja Cat?
I get it's the soundtrack, but put that shit in the credits, my nigga. The fuck? They tried to make it too artsy. They tried to make it look too cool. It looked like Transformers with Elvis. It was just too much, bro.
Somebody just needs to make a normal Elvis
because that man really was going through some fucking
because the story is
bro.
crazy. That's what when I talked about it, it's not about all of the other shit. It really was just about his story because I'm I didn't know a lot of it. You know what I mean? I really just obviously knew some songs. When I was a kid, I knew he died. People said he had died, had a heart attack on the toilet. Yeah. And then I knew eventually that he stole shit from
drugs.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. I didn't know
his life reminded me
how
lot.
He couldn't travel anywhere. I didn't know that.
That too. Whereas he wanted to be international, and the best thing they could do was
do
live
a
concert
US
where
tour.
they streamed it, and it was out to 1.5 billion people. They streamed it out.
That's crazy.
And they wouldn't let this guy travel because the manager, didn't have an actual passport. And he didn't want to lose him. It's just it's a dumb movie, great story. They fumbled the bag. It's just that simple. They fumbled the bag. Don't waste your time watching this movie. Thank God I didn't go to the fucking theaters to watch it. It just came out on Crave. I was thank God.
I swear there's so many Elvis movies.
Is there?
There's been multiple Elvis movies.
None of them good enough.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have made
because one has to be a classic with the way white people feel about that man. Podcast P. In your house, you guys play Elvis growing up?
I think it might have been like grandparents type thing, but not so much Elvis for us. But it was big. It was really big.
Like,
Yeah.
crazy, bro, crazy. And even like I didn't know that he fell off and then got back on. Like that's something I wasn't told. After Martin Luther King died, like nobody was fucking with him for years, and then he comes back popping again. Like the whole taking him off a stage and shaving his head and sending him off to war, that was wild. Like there's so much cool shit that happened to this nigga.
Yeah.
And just the mental turmoil that he himself was going through. Like I feel like a lot of artists should watch that. Like it almost the second half of it at least.
Yeah.
Like it almost seems like
Like how they used him and they exhausted him, and it's like fuck, like.
it seems like when you go to.
But then
you
they
get a
got
job
him
at
in that
McDonald's.
they got him in that binding contract where he was like indebted to Tom Hanks' character.
He's
Like he couldn't
giving
leave.
him 50% of like all of his money and shit. It was just
He
so
couldn't
bad.
leave because he wouldn't have money to like pay him back. So that's why he just had to work until he is like
Well,
died.
he also spent frivolously as well. The man spared no expense, literally. Like it was bad. But yeah, no, fuck all that movie.
Well, when you watch Honk for Jesus, let me know so we can discuss. I don't think like Regina Hall and Sterling Brown, I think they did great in their roles, because especially with Regina, like you've seen like from like happy or whatever to like completely like upset, you know what I mean? So like it went from one extreme to another. And then like Sterling Brown, it's different from obviously like This Is Us, right? But
you guys
I just
go watch a real white singer, man. Why is his name? Why am I hearing? I'm thinking of Kubla, Kabbalah. I thought of like 3 different K names just now. But Kubla Khan. You guys should go check out Kubla music, man. That's the real white guitarist right there. Black Adder.
It's like a historical comedy, and like
Black Adder.
Little nerdy me was.
How do you
obsessed.
spell that?
BLACKADDER.
Hard ER too. Nice. Oh wow, Mr. B. Wow, he's got titties on his head. Yeah, no, I gotta watch this.
You love it.
That's definitely your brand of humor right there. Titties on the side of the head.
This is pre Mr. Bean?
This is like his first shit. He's like in his early 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. It's wild.
He's a genius. Like I don't think he gets enough respect for what he's done, and I think it's partly because of the whole silence thing. Like
totally,
you got to kind of play that in real life too. I've never seen him in an interview. I don't know what he sounds like on a normal day-to-day basis ever. But I think you have to make that sacrifice if you want to be who he is. Like
totally.
Charlie Chaplin, I've seen The Great Debater, where he played like Hitler or whatever, and he had like the greatest monologue. I'm like, the one time he speaks, he has the greatest monologue in the history of movies. Like that's insane. 100%. The shit he said in that, they dub it over to this day with like showing war and what the world's turning into. It was an amazing speech. You ever seen it?
No.
It's like an old black. Of course, you don't watch TV. What am I saying? It's not a it's not a rom-com. We just went over this.
Yeah, it's not a rom-com. It's not Grey's Anatomy.
Which, by the way, I'm hearing no Meredith in this,
Shut the fuck
this season
up.
of Grey's Anatomy. I'm dead serious.
No.
The new
They're
one
phasing
coming
her out.
out?
They're phasing her out. There's new interns. All that. The only one there is still the black guy.
So many people did leave.
Thankfully. And died. That was great too.
No, shut up.
I seen a guy doing his review. You know how people like watch things, like very popular things. You could do it because you don't watch shit. You could make TikToks watching very popular things and 100%. Review them how you see them. And people, because there's so many fans of these things, people want to see what fresh eyes think of it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's a guy who's talking about the first season of Grey's Anatomy. And he's basically saying everything that's gonna happen, but hoping that it doesn't happen. So he's like, "I hope George doesn't die. That'd be horrible." I was like, I was dying. But guys, you guys are hearing an unfamiliar voice, or maybe a familiar voice. You guys have, if you've been in the streets and seen
what kind of streets?
Do they call it busking?
Busking. Yeah.
This is one of the top buskers. Can we say that legally? In Toronto, we've got Kubla in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. You know what? I think I saw you on the corner of Trinity Bellwoods.
Yeah, not surprising.
Just doing your thing on that little cove there, right where they go up the stairs.
Did you hear?
You had another person besides you playing with you. It was, I don't know what instrument it was.
I can confirm if you did. You just heard him at first, right? You didn't see him.
No, I heard you and I stopped. I'm like, yo, this white boy can sing.
Oh, so you saw him at the same time as you heard him.
As I heard, I stopped and I watched you and I was like, shit, man, they don't have enough buskers in the city. At least this good.
That's what it's called. Like I've never heard
busking.
I've never heard this word.
It's a
until
very
right
medieval
now.
type word. Like it feels old. Like it feels like there should be an iOS update for that word. For sure. That's insane. Busking. But yeah,
I'm trying to remember what song he was performing, but I'm like, yo.
When I first heard him, I heard him but didn't see him. Okay. So I thought it was a nigga. I thought, I was like, there is a lot of oppression in that soul voice there. I'm hearing a lot of, he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I saw him and I was like, oh shit, okay. That threw me for a
Not
loop.
what you expected.
And then the video was shot so well. It was Queen of Spadina.
Yeah, word.
And then I remember driving past you the day that you filmed it.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is all coming to me at once. Because I remember going around the corner and turning to my girl like, yo, that nigga could sing. And then, I saw the video and I seen you singing, man. You have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
First of all.
Very nice voice.
Yeah,
Plus, you play the guitar and you play it very well.
Thank you.
How did this all begin?
Both my parents are musicians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was really lucky. Both my parents are like Celtic musicians from the West Coast.
Oh,
so they
shit.
play like
Celtic.
That's Irish, no?
Irish, yeah.
Nice.
So like Irish and Scottish traditional music. Kind of like, oh, Danny boy, like that kind of shit, you know?
And he could just do I wish I could just do that in life. Oh, Danny boy. Like, I can't sound like Pumbaa. But that's crazy. Okay, I feel like Irish people and Jamaican people should be closer.
Word.
I feel like the patois and the accent, the Irish accent, are just neck and neck.
I was going to say, though, weren't the Irish considered the slaves of the whites?
Yeah.
So this is my theory.
Okay.
When the slave ships was heading towards Jamaica, they're like, hey, let's get some of these Irish white boys too. Throw them on. Hey, bring some of that Irish moss, you guys have. Let's get the going.
Irish moss.
The Irish moss.
You know what I mean? And then they love their stout. Who has the stout? The Irish and the stout.
We might be onto something.
I'm saying,
They go hand in hand.
Or genital and genital. We was fucking back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
And then on top of that,
Hello, that's why I'm here.
She's biracial. No, we need that as a soundbite. I'm getting that as a soundbite. It's official. The biracial soundbite will exist.
But for sure, there's like within the Irish accent and the Jamaican accent, there are certain things.
It just sounds so similar, and now I understand. Just because Toronto's so exposed now, and more people are learning our slang and our lifestyle. Apparently, we sound like Jamaican leprechauns.
Yes,
which I'm like, you know that sudden realization that you sound different, and now you can't unhear it. Like, I watched Kill Tony episode today, and there's one Canadian guy on there. And
Jared
he goes
Nathan?
up and no, it wasn't Jared. Shout out Jared. It wasn't Jared though. But he shout out that guy because he's from the same city. And it's this just big white guy, plaid shirt, obviously, and just he sounded so Canadian.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, I cannot. If we have an accent,
Yeah, for sure.
like we have an accent.
You can hear it when you're the only one.
And
You're like the only one in a room.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's ugly. It's not even like it's a we have an accent. No, it's we have an accent. Like this is a problem.
It's a problem.
Like this is bad. Like if you guys hear yourself, I remember Russell Peters had a joke about it back in the day about how we sound like donkeys. Fuck off! Shut the fuck up! Like, and I'm like, it was exaggerated, so I'm like, I'm not gonna look too much into it. But now, man. It's looking
real.
shaky. We sound like Baltimore people.
And it's funny too. I'm from the West Coast, so I came to Toronto like 2 years ago.
Oh.
And all my friends here obviously are from Ontario.
Yeah.
And they're like, you sound like California Light.
It's definitely a different cadence. It's definitely a different cadence.
And then when you go to the
dude.
east, it's probably even, well, it is even different. Like I have friends that are from Nova Scotia, and like just the way that they talk, when they're all together, I'm just like, I feel really left out.
They're like Canadian Bostonites.
Yeah. And they all call each other hun. They're like, oh, it's okay, hun. Like, can you grab that for me, hun? Nah, hun. Like,
everything's hun.
Let's have a shot, hun. I'm
That's
like,
their fam.
what?
That's their fam. That's crazy. No, hun, I'm not dealing with that. That's crazy. To hear from the Mandem, that'd be wild. That is so wild. So you moved to Toronto 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Why did you move to Toronto?
Because I'm from a pretty small island town. Well, the biggest island town, Victoria, BC.
Okay.
And
My cousin lives there.
Yo, sick. Have you been?
No, not yet.
I've
been to Vancouver, but I never went. We didn't. The ferry.
Yeah.
Tickets were sold out.
Right.
And it was during COVID too, like last year. So I know that there were some like restrictions, I guess, on the island. So we never went. But she's lived there for like a while.
So wait, you can get sold out from getting home?
Yeah.
You can, straight up.
Yeah.
That's so.
It's fucked
That
up.
just blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's
gotta
like
go
you
by
have
boat.
no, like you're on like you'll be stuck on an island. Like you can't do anything. There's no like highway, like bridge. Like you have to take the ferry, and it's like it leaves, like it gets there at certain times, it starts working, and it stops at certain
That
times.
is crazy.
It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest change coming from there to here?
Coming from there to here is probably how friendly the people are. Everyone here is like super friendly and open. And actually, like the West Coast, I like to say that it's like super like beautiful, but really cold. Like people there are like very keep to themselves, sort of, and
that's interesting. I never saw that coming.
That's what I felt when I was in Vancouver.
Word.
Like every time I go to Vancouver, I'm like, you guys are nice when if I know you.
Yeah, 100%.
But if I don't know you, they're like, yeah, do your own thing.
Yeah.
We're in our world here. Wow. Like, it's very hard to get in, and trying to fit in where you fit in.
It's
is
very
like,
Cali.
Yeah, totally.
Very Cali right there.
Except for the black people, because when we were walking, like there's few and far between black people.
But there's knowing looks.
Every time they seen like Ezra, like I'd see Ezra like nodding and stuff like that and saying like this. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, and he was like, every time they see me, they just like smile and nod and say what's up. And I'm like, I guess because there's not that many here.
They can
and
count
stuff
the
like
niggas
that.
on one hand. They're like, this nigga ain't from here.
It's like he looks like he don't belong here. What's up?
Wait, how long have you been performing though?
How long, like in my life?
Have you been busking?
Busking was something I did when I first came to Toronto because it was just like an easy way to get in the scene.
Because I was gonna say, I remember there was this dude. So in Vancouver, you know where there's that big Free Willy statue?
Yeah.
Right. Another soulful ass white boy playing the guitar. Like, what's his name? I'm like, yo, this guy is sick.
I know this.
He's like, there's only 2 black souls and white bodies in all of Vancouver.
No, but he sings so good. And I'm like, bro, man, do you ever think about pursuing this for real beyond busking? He's like, nah, I don't care. I just love to perform.
Norm literally talks to anybody. That's like the common deed.
I envy it. I envy it because it's like I used to like
From
people
homeless
like
to
that.
crackheads to random
I used to
performance.
really love
like,
people like that. I used to love you, and now it's just like.
But you know, sorry,
no, I was just gonna say, is busking even like really a thing out there?
Busking is a thing out there, but it's really tourist heavy out there. So like here I find that the people walking around, like if you're in Trinity Bellwoods, a lot of the people you see are people that just live around there, which is nice because like they're connected in the city. So I busk a lot here as a means to like get gigs and play around, and it really worked. Like people saw me, they were like, yo, come play my restaurant, come play my thing, you know?
Yeah.
And whereas in Victoria, it's just like Americans on cruise ships.
True.
Walking down the street being like, wow, this place is pretty.
Yeah.
Here's $5.
Oh my gosh! Plus, not to mention the coldness.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Actually, since you said that Vancouver or BC people are kind of cold, my aunt and uncle and their like kids and stuff like that live in Calgary. And well, their one daughter's the one that moved to Victoria. But they said that when Albertans, is that what they're called? Albertans?
Albertans,
Yeah, cross over to BC, they end up getting their tires slashed, like cars vandalized and all that stuff. Like BC people have like a beef with people in Alberta. So if they see like an Alberta license
But why?
plate, they're
BC
like,
versus
fuck you. Like,
Keep your oil on that side.
Berta versus Colombia? What's going
It kind
on?
of do be like that. Like people in BC are like hyper progressive, and
Yeah.
people in Alberta want to ship their oil to China because they want to
yeah,
make a
they're
bunch of
super
money.
conservatives in like Alberta. Like
Yeah.
that's the like Trumps of
Yeah, they're like, we want the pipeline, and Vancouver's like, no, you're gonna ruin our rainforest.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
That's crazy.
And so like they're right beside each other. So it's like
So
it's
that's
like,
alt-right land. All
Yeah,
this
like-
time I thought it was Quebec.
Dude,
That's
it's
crazy.
Texas. I think
Yeah, it's
Quebec
Texas
is
and
alt-right
BC.
land.
They did say that Alberta is the Texas of Canada.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so
They
crazy.
got the
Yeah.
cattle ranching.
They got the oil, they got the
I wish
cowboys.
they
It is
just,
minus all the black people.
Have y'all been to the Stampede? Have y'all been to the Stampede?
No.
The Calgary
No, I
Stampede?
haven't. No.
Yeah.
How
You
was
had a
it?
good time?
I've
Can't
heard it's
ban
a
it for
hoot.
white people, no?
It was a little whack for you.
Shaky?
Wow.
Hey man, like the
What you
the
doing
amount-
around here, partner? I don't know why they're from the South. I don't know why I did that.
It's all denim and plaid,
I don't doubt it, man.
and blonde.
Cowboy hats and like the cowboy boots.
I mean, I fucks with it. I like that kind of shit, but like, I just wish the Canadian government or the airlines, whoever it is, would make flying within the country way
a lot
cheaper.
Oh
more.
yeah, it's so
Because like I would love to explore all of Canada.
Yeah, the best time to do it was during the pandemic,
Pandemic,
because
yeah.
that's when they dropped the prices.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
it's also like you go there and,
And
you
you
don't
can't do
know
nothing.
like what's open and what's not
Right,
open and like all
exactly.
these different fucking rules for each province.
Exactly.
But I will say that like from the places that I have been in Canada, like Canada is such a beautiful thing, and I wish like even when I stayed in Calgary, I stayed there for 3 weeks, right? And like I was like, yo, why do more like black people live there? Like it's so affordable compared to here. I mean, in terms of like houses and stuff like that, I know that they get paid more, but then they also get like, I don't know, everything
Charged
else
more.
kind of.
Does it balance out? I don't think it balances out though.
I don't know.
Because people from Toronto still move out there, save up money enough to come back and be
Well, they
bald.
move.
yeah.
They move.
Yeah.
Up, they move up to like Fort McMurray and stuff like that. Sometimes, if you want to make the real
Yeah,
money,
move to the hood.
because
Red
that's where
Deer.
that's where like the oil fields are.
Oil
so
fields,
like
yeah.
my cousin like lives up there, and this was years ago. I don't know how much he was making now, but essentially he'd only work 2 weeks on and then 2 weeks off, and he did that for like the whole year. So essentially 6 months. If you add it all
Yeah.
up, 6 months out of the year, and he was making like $300,000 from it,
Christ.
plus like everything else that he has. Like he lives really well out there. He owns
At
like
first, though,
seven-
it's a nasty
seven
grind.
properties.
Damn.
At first, you
Yeah.
got to sleep on the floor with a bunch of mans. Like the early days of that and working your way up
Yeah,
to
he's
making
been there
that
since
money.
he was like 20.
Yeah, you got to make a lot of sacrifices, like not see friends and family. Like I know a lot of people go out there, come back and be like feel alienated.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Especially
I know
because
some
of probably
people-
that culture of the coldness there.
Yeah.
They get so used to that.
It's like resource extraction economy. So like it's so rich in resources that like people move there to make money or they move there for the beauty. And so like they're there. I say it's like the place you go to retire when you're 35.
oh wow,
True.
Yeah.
okay. Food for thought on Canada.
It's funny though you say that about like black people not being in Alberta, the West Coast. When my cousin and her Jamaican husband got married in Banff, they said this is the first ever black Filipino wedding they've ever experienced. And I was like, stop this. They're like, no. And like I remember
There's
just
so
seeing-
much seasoning here.
I just remember like we were having so much fun. I was the host of the wedding. We were just getting down. The DJs were going crazy. Filipino blacks, Jamaicans going crazy, and then all these different bridesmaids were coming from the other, or all these different brides were coming from the other areas where they were celebrating their wedding receptions. And you could just see like the sadness, like
My wedding's not like this.
why did you get us a DJ like that? And I was just like, culture, baby. What's up, Banff?
Told you to get that white busker with the black voice. Would have killed it. How do you do you have to audition to get like a busking permit?
So the busking permit situation is super dumb in Toronto. They don't let you use amplification. I literally just go out there and the cops only stop me if they, but it's kind of funny. Like me and my friends and the cops are honestly really kind of, I don't know, it seems like they have taste about it. Because I see people who are bad get stopped like immediately.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I was like, if you weren't sick, they lock your ass
exactly.
up. But they brought the cuffs out, walked up to him and went, hold on, give him about 2 more songs.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with my friend Chris. I've seen it happen many times. Where, like the cops will walk up and they'll kind of like they won't make eye contact with you for like a good half hour, and then they'll come over to you. Like you're like, oh, I guess they're there for something else.
Yeah.
And so
they're listening and they don't want to look like fanboys. Exactly. You bums. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And people around get mad too. So like they you know, it's
if they stop you.
Yeah. So I got like I could be super adversarial. Like I could be like, yo, like we don't want to stop. We're not gonna stop. Yeah. But every time they come, I'm like if I were in their position, if I were like walking up to a place and like 20 people who were like, yo, fuck you, bitch.
Exactly,
like, get the fuck out of here.
Start getting aggressive.
Exactly.
Start getting
and I'm
wild.
like, I'm out. I'm gone. Yeah. I played. I made my money. I'm gone.
Do you sing harder?
You just start playing Sting and all. Exactly. You start playing the Police.
Hey guys, start playing Foo Fighters. There goes my. Did you see that video by the way this week?
Oh, Dave.
Of
the son.
Dave Grohl.
His son playing the drums at a concert after he's died or whatever, and there was like a very long heartfelt tribute at the start, and then the son comes on and does "There Goes My Hero," you fucking drumming his ass off, and then kisses the drum. My heart broke in half, bro.
Yeah, and Dave Grohl's like choking up the whole time.
Yeah, man,
that was touching.
I had goosebumps like all over. It was insane, and because of that song too, like. That song, if you know the song, that song will give you goosebumps by itself.
Yeah.
Much less with all that meaning behind it and everything. It was amazing. It was a great moment.
100%.
Who is Taylor Hawkins?
Taylor Hawkins?
He was the drummer. Right?
Yeah.
That was
the
drummer
for Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool because Dave Grohl was the drummer for
Nirvana. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. So there's no audition process.
No, I just show up on the street and just play.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you do TTC stations, any of those?
No, I really like, I do like busking, but I really want to, I really just want to put my music out, and I put on a bunch of shows myself and sold tickets and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm just, it's kind of similar to the comedy hustle, like you just got to find ways you can do it so people become aware of it. Mm-hmm. And so they dig you. So when you put in your own shows, you can actually like invite people out and they can have a good time. Yeah. But it's really about proving that at first. So, I'm patient, but I'll perform anywhere, but it's just like wherever's the easiest for me to get into, and I don't have to do like the least amount of paperwork, the least amount of bullshit. Yeah. I'm there. Yeah.
For sure. And especially with like the amplification of like TikTok and Instagram Reels and all those stuff, you could essentially have one viral video.
Totally.
And then put up an Eventbrite link and meet everybody in a park.
Totally.
Like that's the cool thing about what you do. Is
I've done that a few times too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Really? That's so dope. Yeah, I love that there's so many different ways for entrepreneurs to make money now.
I know.
Like there's really no excuse. Like if you are talented and are putting in the work, there's always a way to make money doing what you do.
The hardest thing though, to give people credit, is getting from nothing to something.
Oh yeah.
That's the hardest amount of time. I'm sure you experienced it, where it's like, if you've got no fans, it takes a long ass time for you to get one fan.
I was spoiled for me because I did the VJ search in 2009. Okay, and that was what like my first like little platform, I guess. And we were on live TV 5 days in a row across all of Canada.
True.
So it's like by the time that show was finished, I had just started my Twitter that week. I think I started Twitter that week, and I had 11,000 followers just off the top.
Damn.
And so and then I did YouTube like probably 2-3 weeks later. Yeah. And that just did its own thing. So I was spoiled at the start.
But I also feel like with Lathe, because it was like the
Lathe?
Tumblr.
Well, that was after. That was 2 years afterwards.
Tumblr?
Yeah, Tumblr was 2011 was when we popped off. Tumblr really? 2010 and 11 was when it really like, for especially 2010 summer, that's when shit really started taking off on Tumblr.
What year was Much Music?
2009.
Oh.
Yeah, 2009 was my first time doing anything like publicly. I didn't know I wanted to do TV stuff or anything like that at that point.
I submitted a demo for the 2012 one or something they did.
No, but there's a lot. This is the thing about those submissions. There's a lot of talented people who never got picked. But I kind of think that the more talented you looked in the audition, the more they're like, nah. Because it's like, it was some people had very polished. Like I remember Shannon Boudram's video. I'll never forget it. Shannon Boudram, her name's Shannon Booty. Now people know her as a great, amazing sex therapist, sexologist, author, amazing, a million things. And she did a submission video with the Fresh Prince theme song and recreated the Fresh Prince intro to submit her audition. And I was like, no one's fucking beating me. I'm like, this is the greatest. Yeah. This is cinema. Yeah. Like I was like that. It shitted on my video especially, and I was like, there's no way. Like, and the vote at that time it was a voting thing. So you're seeing so many people vote for her, and I didn't know she had a Those Girls Are Wild YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how she really got her. Like she did other things too, but Those Girls Are Wild was her first like claim to fame, and she started getting like fans that way.
Was that her own thing?
No, it was between her and Andrea. She used to play Hazel in Degrassi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were like best friends at the time, and they started their own like website, and then that went to like YouTube when YouTube started getting popular. So they were really ahead of the curve from time.
Ahead in so many ways. I went to the channel the other day.
It's still up?
Yeah, it's still up. And they had Issa Rae way before Insecure. They have a video with Issa Rae. They have a video with Chelsea. I can't remember her name. Just shaved her hair. Black girl. She did the video. White girls say to black girls back in the day.
Oh, I don't.
You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
She bodied it. She's an amazing everything as well. She's just like Shannon. But like they had so many people who ended up becoming something humongous on their channel when they're getting 1,000, 2,000 views. It's like they were the start of YouTube in Toronto to me.
Yeah.
It was them, LaToya Forever. And
Shameless Maya, she's from here, but she moved to like
Sweden.
No. But at the time, I think she moved to New York. She
did.
Went to New York and stuff like that. But now she lives in Sweden.
Yeah. One of the most beautiful birth videos on YouTube I've ever seen, by the way. Like, I don't watch a lot of them, by the way. I just want to... That made it sound like I'm at home, like,
That was the best one I've ever
my
seen.
shit. Here we go. I
You're
love
the
TLC. Oh, yeah. I like what they did with the bathtub there. That's a good touch. Yeah, no, because I know her, I wanted to watch her little... She had a mini movie, basically, of her birth.
Her home birth.
Yeah, it was a natural birth.
And she met her partner when they were both traveling, staying in like Costa Rica in one of those
hostels.
Right. They met, and so he's from Sweden. That's where he lived, and so she ended up deciding to like pack up all of her stuff and from LA and move to Sweden. But where they live in Sweden is like countryside. Like they literally can like have their own little farm vibes, like in terms of like vegetables and stuff like that.
Think of Ozark.
Yeah.
Ozark? Yeah.
Very Ozark.
Cool.
Like,
they're on the run.
Yeah. And even with like her midwife and stuff like that and her doula, they lived I think their midwives lived 2 hours away or something like that. And there wasn't even like hospitals around and stuff. So they live in like nowhere. So their birth story was like kind of crazy because I'd feel so weird.
Check it out on YouTube if you guys have not. It's really, really beautiful.
I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Where do you want to take this? Because I know these days not everybody wants fame.
Yeah. That's a good observation.
Yeah. Do you want fame?
No, I only want as little fame as I need to get what I need to do.
Okay,
that's what I want. But I want to connect people with my music. I'm a very naturally philosophical guy. And
I could tell by the jacket.
You can tell
the jacket.
Just gives it right away.
You don't wear that kind of jacket without it being a thinker. You know what I mean? It's not a lazy jacket. You can't just walk and be like, "Yeah, this is the one." No, you stood there when
I did stand there and think.
How could I rock this? Okay, I got.
Actually, there's a dude named Sid in the vintage store in Kensington that I go to because I used to have this regular gig in Kensington, and I go in there every day, and he's around the same size as me. And he just chucks clothes at me.
Nice. That always helps.
That's a big plus. But yeah, I want to take this thing, and I really just want to touch people's lives in the same way that artists have really touched my life. And we joke about me sounding like a black dude. Like
you have the Michael Bolton effect, is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
You're straight Bobby Caldwell, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? You were singing What You Won't Do when I saw you, bro.
Yeah, word.
And you slowed it
So
down.
wait, he knows.
You slowed it down.
He's aware of the blackness inside.
So when I was a kid, I would bike around my neighborhood listening to Stevie Wonder's discography. That was like my origin story.
The greatest discography known to man.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Stevie Wonder's to this day my favorite artist of all time.
I tell everybody to this day, there's no
Absolutely.
like we talk about Usher not being able to beat anyone. Stevie Wonder's body in that ass. I'm sorry, but it's obviously different categories, different times, all that good stuff. But Stevie Wonder is
unreal.
Catalog
tier.
is, man.
I can't name someone that's on TV more than Stevie Wonder, and he's not on TV. Like his
true.
music is in every commercial, every TV show.
Yeah.
Scandal's entire discography was Stevie Wonder at one point. Yeah, he's amazing.
Lest we forget, like, there's not that many child to adult stars in this world left. Like, you had the Michael Jacksons.
Yeah, Bieber is the
you had
last
the
one.
Biebers, but
No, wait, Drake. Drake was a kid.
I guess to an extent, Bieber's there, but
But
Drake
even,
wasn't singing.
But Stevie
as a
Wonder's
kid.
the longest running. Like, no one has like
Yeah, like, 'cause
Marshall
he's so
Fasoka,
old, you know what I
Don't
mean?
do that to Michael, man. It's too soon, brother. It's too soon, man.
But no, man, I'm saying he
No, I
was
get
there
it.
before Michael.
Well, maybe, yeah. I guess
Right?
Janet is a little bit behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Janet
still
is probably
being-
the closest thing to him.
Yeah.
Probably
But
the closest.
Stevie came out when he was what, like 11?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think
What was who were your top three? So you have Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. That's a really good question. I'm gonna say Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna say Leanne LaHavis.
Oh,
Guys heard of
okay.
Leanne LaHavis. She's
Did not
amazing.
see that coming.
Yeah.
Oh, who?
Leanne LaHavis.
Oh, you haven't heard.
She's an English.
Kinda jealous.
Yeah, she's unreal.
Kind of jealous.
I don't know who it is either.
Leanne, what?
You're gonna love her music.
Lianne. Leanne LaHavis and oh God.
Really marinating on this.
I
Looks
really
like
need
a
to
John
marinate on
Mayer
this.
guy.
See, people always
assume.
compare me to John Mayer. I like to say that I'm trying to aim for a sound that's somewhere between John Mayer and Stevie Wonder, but I wouldn't put John Mayer in my top three. I'd
Okay.
say that my top three is probably like an Emily King, or like a God.
Be careful, they're gonna see this.
I know. Maybe Alan Stone
Okay.
could be it.
Alan Stone.
Alan
That's one I don't.
Alan Stone.
Oh, Alan Stone. No, I know
Alan
Alan
Stone.
Stone. Yeah.
You're the one that
Yeah,
put me
yeah.
I
on
put you
Alan
on Alan
Stone.
Yeah, he's another West Coast boy who's the voice doesn't match his face, but he
Yo, that mouth. When I saw his mouth, I'm like, it's coming out of that mouth.
Cat voice.
Sick.
He's got
No,
cat voice.
when
catfish
I
voice?
saw when I was 19, I saw Alan Stone in Vancouver at this place called the Vogue, and it that's what made me want to do it. It's like I saw the kind of energy that was in the room. I saw the way that people were engaging with it, enjoying it, and not a lot of stuff comes my way. Like I've seen a lot of legendary artists because of the Jazz Fest in Victoria and stuff like that, but not a ton of like really current artists. And who are like really doing like a genuinely musical thing, and like his band was unreal, and everything about the performance was unreal, and they were having so much fun, and the crowd, and like he was singing about things that were so meaningful and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that really inspired me. So I'd put him in the top three for sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
considering that your parents do Celtic music, did they ever listen to like Stevie Wonder?
Yeah,
and
they're both like jazz nerds.
Okay.
Like my mom's like a singer-songwriter. So my dad's more of the Celtic traditional. My mom's much more of like a folk singer-songwriter. And I grew up listening to like anything from like Chaka Khan to Paul Simon.
Oh,
It was
wow.
just like spanned a huge. And then
they
on my
just really like
Big
music.
palette.
yeah, they
Wide
love
palette.
music.
Yeah.
Mad
Wide palette.
Rod Stewart.
Yeah, no Rod Stewart. In fact,
No Rod
it's
Stewart.
so funny because I got a really good introduction to like soul, folk, like world music, but like no hard rock, no classic rock, no R&B. Like I didn't get any 90s like people. The thing I'm really missing is like I love like old soul. I love things that like reference retro soul and stuff like that. When it comes to R&B, like the Ushers and the TLCs of this world, like I just never got introduced.
Yeah.
So and it always felt kind of corny to me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like when you're
Like
not
him.
in it.
He thought it was corny.
Yeah, word. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no. I thought it was corny after a certain point.
B2K.
Right. Yeah,
Once
yeah, yeah.
B2K
Once
came
B2K
in, I
came,
said it's corny.
that's when he was
get
like,
that.
I'm over this.
I get that. I totally get it. And it took me a while to acquaint with songwriting, but my parents really introduced me to like not the most popular shit. Like they introduced me some weird cuts.
And especially because you're looking back. Like, how old are you?
28.
Yeah, so you're looking back and you're trying to catch up with the R&B scene. And looking back, you can see so many manufactured artists.
Totally.
That it's so hard to connect with the music. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Like, for us, we grew up in it and we didn't know better yet. There was that consumer knowledge wasn't there. We were just like, oh, they are this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we were already in it. So we couldn't see it. Now we look back, we're like, oh, wow. Well, Bobby Brown didn't know how to spell prerogative. That's like, that's insane.
I had a question for you in the elevator.
Yep.
What does Kubla mean? Now, before you answer, I would like to tell you what Urban Dictionary says.
All right.
Urban Dictionary defines Kubla as a noun, a Linux troll who lives in IRC. Shits with his arse and shouts happily about lunch and dinner.
Does it actually say it in an Irish accent?
It says the IRC, so
it does say arse. It does say arse.
But
that's funny.
There's that one, and then I think there's one more that's a poem written on an opium dream.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's
Samuel
the one.
Coleridge's poem.
Samuel Coleridge's poem.
That's
so
what
when
I
I was
figured.
there you go.
Because I'm like, this one's too close to home. This one's a bit more obscure.
Yeah. It's still real though.
Yeah, it's philosophical. It's a jacket.
It's the jacket.
It's a jacket.
Full jacket. Yeah, when go for it.
No, continue.
When I was in high school, I was falling asleep in lit class. And I really liked this poem called Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Coleridge. And it was like the first time where I was like, yo, let me check this dude's shit out. Like this guy lived like 300 years ago. And I found Kubla Khan, which is this poem that he wrote on like an opium dream, basically about like this far off land in the East. Like back then, nobody had ever been to Asia. So they kind of like viewed it as like this mystical place, you know, that like mystical people lived and magical things happened. And
they were right.
Yeah. I was going to be like, that's wrong. Pretty much correct.
Sounds on point.
And so he wrote this poem about like this far off palace. And the palace was like this really paradise place. And at the core of it was this character, Kubla, who's like this really dark emperor that was kind of like gnashing teeth and like really, really a dark, chaotic force. And my name is Kieran. My real name's Kieran. And in Gaelic, that means little dark boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sick.
You always had the blackness inside you. I knew it!
Because Kieran is like kind of a black name
That
too.
is a black ass name, nigga.
If you emphasize the A, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yo, if my mom called your name, that'd be black as hell.
It'd be blackity black. I was going to ask you, do you know how to speak Gaelic?
Not at all.
Oh.
Not even a little bit.
I know Comonidacious. That's it.
Sweet.
That's all I know.
You just call me a nigga? What was that?
No, I think it means like good morning or something like that.
Sound
or
like a magic
like
show.
a hello type thing. Comonidacious.
Sick.
That sounds like some Harry Potter shit. Come on in.
It's a beautiful language. It's funny. The history of my family is hilarious because my great whatever grandfather, the first one to come here, fought against the English in the like last Scottish independence.
Oh, he's on the
war.
right side of history.
Yeah, and then he lost, and they were like, we can either imprison you or you can go to North America and fight for us against the Americans. So he lost against the English.
Traded.
And then he lost to the Americans
Yeah.
and survived both times.
And survived both times, settled in New York, and then came up to Canada, and then the rest is history.
He's like, this war shit's not for
it's
me.
not for me. Farming's the shit. Yeah.
You rarely hear a war story from someone talking about their relative.
Yeah.
Where it's like they took the L, fam.
Yeah, they took the hard L. Like hard
You never know.
L twice.
Not once, but twice.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So like none of your your immediate family knows how to speak it.
None of them. No.
I tried to learn when I was a kid. So like my grandma used to have like a summer trailer that we go to in Cambridge, and one of the people beside her was like super Irish, and he knew how to speak Gaelic. And so like, yeah, he used to like teach me some words here and there. Completely forgot them now.
One's
I was
in your
like,
subconscious though.
except for Comonidacious.
It sounds Trini. That's why you. Comonidacious.
Actually, I think I know one phrase,
Lord,
which
come
is firmana,
Yeah.
which I think is like a Hakuna Matata type thing.
Oh,
It's
nice.
Like,
What
it's
is
like
it?
no worries. Firmana.
Firmana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds
then-
like some Game of Thrones shit right there. Mahana Margulis. Yeah. Absolutely. Same
then-
vibe.
And then after that, like I guess my grandfather ended up passing away, and so his like people, like his parents or grandparents or whatever, had like Irish and Welsh in them, and like he had this little like dictionary book of like how to speak Gaelic and
Sick.
stuff like that.
You gotta find that.
I don't know where it is.
You gotta find that. You gotta find
But
that.
yeah, like I wanted to learn so badly.
You gotta make a song in Gaelic now.
Oh man, that's gonna be like when I'm like 60.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta do the old like the cut of the album. Like
Yeah.
it's the same album, but just in this version.
I'll be the first Gaelic soul artist.
Yo,
That'd be dope.
I'm sure it's happening.
we just got the episode title.
Marvin Gaelic.
Marvin.
Damn, bro.
When I get that feeling, I need Celtic feeling. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. But yeah. So you're obviously on Spotify.
Yep.
You're on all the streaming services. Yep. Do you have anything in the works?
I do. I have an album coming out in November.
Hey, what's it called? Do we have a title yet?
Title's working. I was thinking of calling it Kieran actually.
Okay.
Which I think
self-titled.
Yeah.
Ooh,
The self-titled.
that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure, man. Hey, Chris Brown's self-titled. Like most self-titles are next level. Brandy.
Yeah.
Chris
True.
Brown. Like
But the cool thing is people won't know that that's your real name.
That's the thing.
Until they find out. Like, you know this guy, but now get to know me.
it's me without the jacket. That's hilarious.
So shouldn't that be your second album, like your name?
That is definitely something that I have been thinking about a lot. Whether it's too soon for me to call. Like I feel like that's like my fourth album, maybe.
I don't know about fourth, but I could see the second.
Yeah.
I can
Like
see,
you could do fourth, but like I could see you doing like one album because like you're still new and you're still gonna gain like new fans. So have this album that is like you as your persona, and then it's like the second one is like the
Stripped
real
back.
you.
The
Yeah,
guy
like
behind the mask.
more raw.
stripped back,
and that's
more
when you
raw.
do like your real name and stuff
So
like
you
that.
know she worked at a
I dig
label.
that.
Yeah.
More raw, authentic, stripped back. These are all the words, man.
Then you gotta do one whole album on opium.
An opium dream. Oh man,
Shit.
that'd be a banger.
Shit, you could
That'd
call
be a
it Opium
banger.
Dream.
A
That's like a
lie?
really
Opium
nice
Dream
name
is
too.
good. Yeah,
The government will be on your ass. On your ass.
I could see the cover, like just all these nice, beautiful colors, and like the videos. It could be something dark
It's just
too,
me
with like all
whacked
these.
out.
I'm gonna find this guy in an opium bar, just like in the corner. Like, no, come.
You guys caused me to have a problem.
Same jacket.
It's tattered.
Tattered. Oh man, what are you? How hard is it during the winter months if you can't busk outdoors?
Well, I got a lot of gigs other than playing outside.
Okay,
so
dope.
I do a lot of. I play a lot of restaurants and private events all across Toronto.
And do these places do live music regularly, or are
A lot of them
you-
do.
Okay.
So I've had the busiest. So I've been a professional musician for the past 8 years, and I've had the busiest 2 years of my life between last summer and this summer.
Toronto's doing it for you.
Doing it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay. And obviously your talent's doing it for you, man. People hear that voice. It's pretty undeniable.
Thank you.
So I want people to especially know some of these live music places because I know a lot of people who would want to go out for a different type of experience and
100%.
don't necessarily know where to go. So where are some of these places that you play at?
I can give a good lowdown. So a place that I just finished a residency at, I played there every Tuesday for like 7 months, is a place called the Oud and the Fuzz.
Okay.
It's an Armenian bar in Kensington Market. And it's run by two really amazing guys. And the whole idea behind the place is that they want to create like a nice convergence between cultures in a space, which I think is super Toronto because like I've never been to a more culturally diverse place than Toronto. Like there's obviously like a Toronto culture. But like in that Toronto culture, there's a lot of people doing their own thing, and it's beautiful. So,
and they cater to all those different sounds and people.
Totally.
Okay,
so
that's amazing.
On the weekends, they have like really sick bands. They know really great musicians. On the weekdays, you'll usually see like solo artists that are doing their thing, but it goes anywhere from like from like Spanish music, Armenian music, Indian music, R&B.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's fire.
Amazing.
That's fire.
It's really good.
And that's on any given night or weekends or
any given night except I think Monday.
Okay.
And then they're also opening a space. You know Poetry? Have you been to Poetry?
No.
Kenzo.
Yeah, in Kenzo. So the guy who owned Poetry is out of there now. He moved to a place in Queen West, and they're actually taking over and calling it Tapestry.
Okay.
So it's going to be a very similar type vibe where they have like really good live music. It's a really tight space. It feels just like a really tight, beautiful New York jazz bar.
Nice.
And it's a really, really sick hang. And it's great because I love Kensington Market because it's kind of on this cusp point where it's like about to be gentrified, but it hasn't quite got there yet. So it's like really nice things are going on there, but it's still like a little bit offbeat and fun.
Yeah.
As long as people continue to do crack in that little park, it's not
It's never going to get justified the way that anywhere else.
Good old crack park.
It truly is like that. Yeah,
so we need them to continue to do crack. All right.
Nothing fancy that moved over there now. They do some live music as well.
Yeah, word. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
There's some other places too that do live music. I played in the Kensington Brewery, and I used to play at this place called Mother Cocktail Bar, which is like my favorite spot. Thinking where else? I play at a place called Pogue Mahone sometimes.
These names
Yeah, they're all over the place.
The ood and the dude. The mother's cocktail.
I've never heard of any of them either.
Not one. This is my point.
Lived
in
in
the
Toronto
black community,
all my life.
Yeah, in the black
guys hang
community,
out?
we don't necessarily like we go to parties,
Right.
and people don't like. We are trying to just create different types of events and things that people can go to that it's not, you don't have to party all the time. You know what I mean? There's so much other things in the city to do and so many things that
I have
you
to
can
do an
creatively
extra
just
Gravy
put together.
Presents.
Oh yeah.
I will
sure.
play anywhere you want me to play.
Facts.
I love playing for parties.
We got a event that we're putting together that I'll talk to you about for
Sick.
sure. Definitely.
Have you ever played at Daddy's Titty Cup?
Jesus, what?
All these names.
Where is that?
Can you give me a phone
Daddy's
number?
Titty Cup? It's a good bar.
I would love to perform at Daddy's
Great
Titty
time.
Cup.
Great time.
Tell people where they can find you on socials and streaming.
It's just at Kubla on Instagram. You can just look up Kubla basically anywhere on the internet. I think that I've reached the top of Google now. I think if you search Kubla, you might get the poem, but if you search Kubla music, you'll find it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
through,
for having
bro.
me. Yeah.
I don't know if
We
you want to
appreciate
play
you.
something before you go.
I could try.
You know what?
The guitar doesn't-
actually
it doesn't
Take out
plug
my
in, right?
mic, and I want to hear you sing.
Okay,
Plug
well,
the
that
guitar.
works.
That's what we'll do.
Because you have to hear what he has to say. He has the musical ear. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, maybe you could join in.
Yeah.
Norm, by the way,
He
also
is-
a vocalist.
Yep.
I guess down.
He is Filipino. It's in their blood.
Yeah, you know how it
It's they can't help it. He's doing karaoke in the womb on the umbilical cord. The umbilical
That's
cord.
such a nice guitar.
And
Oh my
that
gosh,
was the
it's
guitar.
so pretty.
You know, and that's the thing. I remembered you specifically because of the guitar.
You
I'm
need
like,
to, which one is it? You have to show it.
This is very Marty McFly right now.
Which one? This one.
Oh,
Oh,
with the sparkles, baby.
With the
There
glitter.
you go.
Okay,
Glitter.
okay.
Wow, that's so
That's
beautiful.
It's like the Fender Cast 3000, bro.
How much that cost?
This is the cheapest guitar I own actually.
Oh wow.
I just went into Long McQuaid. This is the cheapest guitar I own actually. I went to Long McQuaid and I just saw this sparkly mermaid guitar. My friend Jackson, who works there, just handed it to me. The LR. Is that gonna work? I think so. Okay, sweet.
All right.
As long as it comes out, let's hear. Oh wait, hold on. Do I got to do anything here?
Is that red button a mute?
No, that's just the volume button. That's the record button. Sorry. No, these are turned on. Yeah, I don't know.
You can
Probably
unplug
put
mine if
the-
you want.
But where do you have an XLR?
Are those combo jacks or are they just XLR? Here,
think
unplug one of them for a second.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, folks. We are just trying.
Oh, they are just XLR.
Well, I think you can kind of hear it through the mic.
You can
though.
put the mic to the
Yeah.
guitar.
Oh, that actually is the most hilarious thing that you
over here trying to do the most. Like we have plenty of mics.
We could just put the sound to the sound.
One of my favorite guitar players, whose name's Joe Pass, he's a. Here, let's put it over here. His amp broke on the day of his album recording.
Oh,
And so he just mic'd up his electric guitar. Can you turn it way up?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. It's this one. It's this how it's gonna go.
All
It
right.
could be we hearing it though.
I'm going to change it. It's going faster than I needed. Oh, because life is such deep water, babe. It gets cold as you swim farther. I feel uneasy, yeah. 'Cause this reality ain't breezy. Oh, but when I look back on my history, maybe I'll miss how it all used to be. Whoa, and baby, lately I've been wondering just who I am to you. 'Cause changes got me feeling like I'm another dude right now. Right now.
Kubla music, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
He doesn't even keep
Gunshots
up
in a bomb clot. But yes, another week,
Another one.
another classic. We have something special for our Patreon next week. You guys asked for something. We got asked at the live show if we're gonna be starting to do more Patreon content. We got some things lined up this month, man. Y'all are gonna enjoy it. If you're on Patreon, congrats. I'll say that from now. Congratulations. Anything coming up this week? We got Extra Gravy Comedy. Tickets are on sale now.
It's out.
Third Wednesday of the month.
Third.
This September 21st this month.
21st, yes.
At Comedy Bar, we've got an amazing lineup of comedians for you guys. So hit up those. It's only 40-something tickets. So
Yeah, there's not that many.
Do not
It's a
waste
really
time.
tight show.
The amount of people that texted me that day, God bless. Poor dad. We can't do anything about it. It's a very tiny room. So make sure you guys hit up the link in our bio on Instagram, and you guys can get tickets today. Anything else popping?
I mean,
just comedy shows.
Just comedy shows.
Yeah, just
for
look
me,
at our
bro.
pages. We got comedy shows coming up. Alicia, you got anything?
I do not. September's really slow, and I'm grateful for that.
Nice little relaxation for you, man. Finally.
Yeah.
You're going since you got off mat leave. So
yeah,
that's
I'm
dope.
tired. I get to spend time with my baby.
Rightfully so. You
know?
Matt, you got anything?
Just shout out that slow jam party.
Yes. Another classic there as well. Great party we had. Shout out to Lissa, Jester, and the whole team.
Yeah.
We bodied that shit again. It was a magical night.
As usual. You guys always do that.
It was, listen, this party, something about it, man. I'm telling you, something about it.
Undefeated.
You guys sprinkled a little something, something.
Little razzmatazz for sure. But thank you guys so much.
Wait, Norm, what were you gonna say? You were
I was gonna say, we just announced a North America tour. Trilipino, Keith Pedro, and all the other Trilipinos in the country, doing all of California, doing 3 provinces in Canada. But yeah, man.
Nice.
Sick.
Look out. Do we have any listeners? A lot of listeners in Cali, Sacramento?
Yeah. We got American listeners. We definitely have Cali, New York, Miami, like a bunch of different places. But yeah,
right.
if you're out in Cali, make sure you guys
Sacramento,
check
Irvine,
out Big
we're coming.
Norm's Instagram for all the dates and things. That's gonna be a fun little tour. And man, might be more tours coming up. Who knows, man?
Bing bang.
Who knows, man? Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Another classic. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
And I'm Alicia.
And that was the extra.
Welcome to
Go suck your mama from 4 out. carbs.
It's the extra gravy,